95.5 The Fanatic. John Marks, the show you trust, the host you trust. We say good morning as Ray Dunn is still in the Bahamas or in Bermuda or wherever he is right now. He'll be back tomorrow. Sean Rodman is producing today. Good morning, Sean Rodman.
Good morning.
And then we welcome in the co-host for the day, and he's been here the last couple of Mondays. Another Sean, another Scene, S-E-A-N. Sean Brace is here. Hello.
Oh, what a day to be alive, John Marks. About 20 pounds heavier and frustrated, just like everybody else out there. I want to give a quick shout-out, though, if you don't mind, to start this.
Sure. Well, what do I care?
Some dude put on a blinking sign down by the NovaCare complex, Fire Kevin Petullo. Yep. I love this city. I love our passion, our enthusiasm. I love it. Nobody like us. And never change.
Yeah,
never change.
I actually just got a notification because I responded to the Crossing Broad Instagram of that picture. And I said, oh, sure. I said, yeah, Petullo sucks, but what about the quarterback?
Yeah.
What about Jalen Hurts, who also sucks? And then, as you can probably imagine, I got some people replying back to that.
Yeah.
Sure, if the offensive line's the best offensive line in the world and Saquon Barkley's running for 2,000 yards, yeah, everything's fine. But the minute things like that aren't happening, then Jalen Hurts have to actually throw the ball. Sean, it's so weird, man. And this is going to be such a spaz show because I don't even know what to say or where to start because that's kind of where we are with the team right now. But and I've said this so many times this year, I don't know how to talk about Jalen Hurts. I don't know how to describe Jalen Hurts. I really don't. Because the biggest game of anybody's life, the Super Bowl, he looks like the best quarterback I've ever seen. Twice. And then he plays regular season games where he doesn't look like he's ever played the position before. And he's missing wide open receivers. And he struggles to do the basic thing on offense that almost any quarterback in the league can do. So, yeah, Jalen Hurts was horrible against the Bears. Is the play calling bad? I guess. What if he completes a ball to Devontae Smith and he goes in for a touchdown? Does it look different? I don't know. Let me start with this. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that you feel the same way about the team right now. And I'm going to go back to 2023. And I've resisted this for about as long as I possibly could have because they had Vic Fangio this year. In 2023, they had a combination of bad and worse. But the offensive coordinator is inexperienced and the offense is struggling. But you saw that team not quit because I don't think players actually go out and make the conscious decision to quit. But you could just tell they wanted the season to be over with at some point. And when they played that playoff game against Tampa Bay and they got their ass kicked, they were going through the motions because they knew they weren't good enough and they knew they weren't going to win anything because there was so much going on internally with the team. Everybody wanted the season to be over with. When I watched the game on Friday, I thought I was watching a game from 2023. To me, this has little to do with X's and O's, and this has everything to do with the Jimmies and the Joes. This team is exhausted with what's going on internally and externally with the media and the fans and the Fire Petullo and A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni and everything else. They looked exhausted mentally. That defense didn't show up. The Bears came in and kicked the Eagles' ass. They ran over this defense, the same defense that was the best defense in the league last year. Now explain that to me unless it's internal turmoil and these guys are miserable coming into work.
Oh, standing ovation. Nice work. Sean, if you have that hotkey, fire away. Nice work, John Marks. Yes, I agree with everything you're saying there. The question that you're asking is whether or not this is an effort thing, I guess. And Nick Sirianni wants to put out there and say it's not. Now, he knows that if he says otherwise, it's an indictment on him, which, oh, by the way, this is all going to come down on his watch here. That's back-to-back weeks that the team blew a 21-point lead. And then, as you said, they gave up 281 rushing yards. Monungai and Swift looked like Sayers and Peyton back there. At home, short week, the Boo Birds were out, and that was the effort you got? My goodness, Ben Johnson ran circles around the Eagles' defense. And Vic Fangio, look, he knew what he was up against. The defense knew what they were up against. They knew how good or what the Bears' offense was capable of. But all in all, the effort, again, it comes back to effort for me, John. And this, I'm with you. It feels like everything is all combining, a one combining force, and it's just on all of their shoulders, and it's weighing them down. There's no trust. Like, that's the big thing for me on offense. There's no trust. Jalen doesn't trust the offensive line. Should he? No. The receivers don't trust Jalen Hurts. Should they? I don't know. Nobody trusts Kevin Patullo, right? Sirianni, is it his offense? Like, the fans don't trust anything that's happening on that side of the ball. Should they? No. So that's where it starts for me on offense. There is zero trust. And if you have no trust, man, you're just up against it. You're up against it.
So I guess the question is, can they turn it around, and will everything be okay? And at this point, I'm not even talking about winning a Super Bowl, because I don't think there's anybody out there that's ready to make the argument, yeah, sure, this team's going to turn it around and win a Super Bowl. But can they turn the season around right now to where you're actually making the playoffs and you're positioning yourself? It'd be hard not to make the playoffs at this point. Sure, they could do it. They also have the second easiest schedule in the NFL for the rest of the season. All right, now, you're going to get Daniels is going to be back for Washington, so you're going to get him for 2 of those games. But still, you're playing the Raiders, who suck. You're playing the Commanders twice. And the Bills is going to be a tough game. That looks like a loss right now. You got to go out to Los Angeles. Is Herbert going to play? I don't know. He broke his hand.
It's crazy.
He says he's going to, but the Eagles are favored in that game. So, really, that's the question right now is, can they turn this around enough to where everybody can take a deep breath and they can reset, and then we can actually make the argument, all right, here's how they can make the Super Bowl. Because right now, I'm not seeing it. Right now, I'm not seeing any reason to believe they can turn the season around.
No.
At all. To me, again, everybody that wants to blame Kevin Patullo and the offense and the play calling and the design and all that stuff, fine, blame him. He's a part of it. To me, this has everything to do with whatever's going on inside that building. It's off. You don't become this bad of a team,
correct,
unless there's stuff going on internally.
Yeah.
Period. They can't even do the tush push anymore. And that's not internal stuff. But the tush push, they can't even convert, and it turned into a turnover.
Yeah, and Jalen Hurts is fumbling the ball, and that's just, you can't do that. And he's forcing it down the field. That's why that interception
Trying to do
happened.
too much.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, I'm with you. He played a terrible game, and I'm starting to question, like, what's going on with Jalen Hurts. And that's why it comes back to me, just trust. Like, these guys are in their own heads. They're their own worst enemy, and that's not an excuse. That's just the reality of the situation. They're 8-4, and it feels like 2023 over again when we continued to repeat. I was listening to Andrew and John on the way in. Exactly. 10-1, 10-2, 10-3, 10. No, that's where we're at now.
Fine. No, they're fine.
8-4. No, look at them in the playoff seeding. Yeah, I don't have a good vibe. I didn't have a good vibe against the Bears. Oh, by the way, 7.5-point dogs on a short week, on a Black Friday game where that crowd was just, salivating to get out there. And that's the type of performance you put out there. 7.5-point favorites, and you got your ass handed to you.
Yeah, there's a national radio guy that had responded to an Albert Breer tweet. And Albert Breer, national insider for Sports Illustrated, I think does a great job. He had tweeted out, like, short week, defending Super Bowl champs, and he's more or less ripping Eagles fans for booing. That was a boo fest, as it should have been.
From the jump.
On Friday.
Yeah.
And I think that doesn't help the team either, because they know the fans are, like, they're tight. They're playing tight at home. They'd be better playing on the road. And this guy responds back saying, we're the most disloyal fan base in all of sports. And it's like, it's easy for you to say that from the Pacific Northwest with your teams and whatever else that's going on up there, but we've felt this coming the entire season. It hasn't been this great season where all of a sudden everything's gone wrong. No. This offense has been crap pretty much since I can remember this season.
Leading the league in historical fashion with 3 and outs.
Listen, man, this is the most expensive offense in football.
Yeah.
And to be performing the way they're performing, you can blame whoever you want to. You can say it's coaching. You can say it's play calling. You can say it's the quarterback. You can say it's all of the above. That I knew that was coming on Friday if they didn't perform, and they deserved every bit of it. That was bad. And, like, hey, Nick Sirianni, are you going to get involved and try to clean this up? You're not going to replace your play caller? That's fine. But you're not getting involved. You can't call plays. You put them up in the booth. I saw Nick Foles say over the weekend on his podcast, do something. Trust me, the results are not going to change with what they're doing unless you change something. The results aren't going to change.
I wasn't buying what Nick Sirianni was saying after the game. I think exactly what you said with the Boo Birds. Jeffrey Lurie is there. They know. They're hearing it. They pay attention. That was ugly. Something has to give. Something has to change. So it won't shock me if that we find out come tomorrow, whenever Sirianni is going to speak to the media, that there is some sort of change on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, because nothing so far.
Correct.
And it's Monday, so they played Friday. It's Monday. I'm very curious to see how it works out. 'Cause I think everybody agrees, even if you don't blame Patullo, which, I mean, I don't know. I'm not ready to hire him as my head coach, or I'm not bringing him into my franchise to call plays. But the quarterback's not good.
No.
This offensive line isn't good. And now what you're seeing with Saquon Barkley is he's not making guys miss. He's not breaking tackles. He doesn't have the burst to get through the line. So Saquon Barkley, hey, guess what? When you saw the stat at the beginning of the season, after you run for 2,000 yards and you have that much usage, guess what happens to the player the next season? You don't look like the same player.
And the offensive line goes into the equation as well.
Offensive line has a big.
I do want to just push back a little bit on that, though. He only got 13 carries, and I was the biggest critic on the offensive line. They were ugly.
He wasn't horrible.
He wasn't horrible. He had a couple good carries to start the
4.2
game.
yards a carry, 4.3 yards a carry.
So why not somewhat stay with that game? In a game where the wind was having an effect on the ball, like, why not just stick with the runs?
610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. John Marks, Sean Brace, Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic. We want your reaction. It's Monday. It's not the day after the game, but it might be your first chance to get it off your chest. What do you think? What do you think? 610-632-0975. Middays with Marks.
Unfiltered with Rick.
The Eagles are burning down the house.
Yep.
By the way, Football Mondays brought to you by Pierce Phelps Bryant Heating and AC. They're the local Bryant home comfort team. Visit nopaybryant.com to keep your HVAC in the starting lineup. I don't even know. I was so surprised that they came out and they were dominated by the Bears. Dominated. They were dominated. I said on the air on Friday, Sean, I said that I'd be, like, as far as them blowing out, I said I could see, like, there's more of a chance the Eagles blow out the Bears than they lose the game. Now, I wasn't predicting a blowout, but I had them winning by 10 points. But I said, like, they're not losing the game, so, like, I'd be more surprised if they lost the game than if they blew them out. And they got blown out.
Yeah. You knew going in how good that offensive run game was for the Bears. They were number 2 coming in, so I knew that was going to be a little bit of an issue. But the want, and you know, I'm not one of these guys like Baldy breaking down the film, but I do watch a lot of it, John. And you're seeing guys, and just think about all of the money that was spent up front, the draft capital up front, Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis and so on and so forth, and they're getting dominated. And that is back-to-back games that front defensive line is getting destroyed. Cowboys and the Bears. I never thought that they were going to give up 281 yards, the most since 2015, third most in the last 50 years at Eagles football. But I didn't think the Eagles are going to win that game.
Well, here's the other thing. They're healthy.
Yeah.
They're finally healthy. Kobe Dean's back. Zach Bond's back.
Yep.
They're not missing anybody on that defensive line, right? Jalen Carter always seems like he's trying to punch the ball out instead of tackling the guy.
Jalen Carter's been getting tossed around a lot on film, which is, you know,
not something we saw before.
No, not something I thought that we'd be talking about this year.
Yeah, that's what shocked me more than anything, was just how bad. Because, like you had said, they're 2 good backs that they have there. But I could have ran through some of those holes.
Those holes were huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shocked at that. Now, ultimately, the defense, they didn't give up 30. Like, the Cowboys gashed them for through the passing game. They put up points.
Yeah.
But, like, they still kept them in the game. Even with all that said, they still kept them in the game. But, I mean, geez, Jalen throws the interception, like, whatever. The tush-push fumble's bad because you're inside the 20.
Yeah, that was the backbreaker.
It was.
Yeah, that was the one. That was the point where, like, all right, this is not happening.
That's it. Said the same thing.
Yep.
They're going to lose.
Yep.
And then they just the will to we're not at home when you don't have that, we're not losing this game. Hey guys, we're not effing losing this game. What are you doing? Let's go. And then everybody steps up. We're not getting that. 2023, we didn't get that.
Yep.
And every week we came out and said they're not losing this game. This week, I'm trying to figure it out because if you remember, in 2023 against the Seahawks, they went to Seattle, and Drew Lock was starting because Geno was injured or something. So you had a backup quarterback, Drew Lock. I remember everybody saying, they're not losing this game. No way, no how. I don't care if it's in Seattle. This team's not losing this game. They were 10-1. They're going to be good. Jalen had 2 interceptions, and they lost 20-17 to Drew Lock.
Correct.
And so are we there yet, or is this game against the Chargers that game?
That was December 18, 2023, and I think we are past that point right now, John.
I think this past game was the Seattle game.
Yes, I'm right there with you.
Because after the Seattle game, I said, this is trouble. That's where I stopped saying everything's going to be okay.
I would love for an Eagles fan to make the case that they are feeling confident about anything from this team. Like, if you're an Eagles fan that thinks that this team has the heart to go across the country and win on Monday night against a Harbaugh-led team, regardless of their quarterback situation, I would love for you to make that case.
Yeah, because the Harbaugh-led team, he hasn't been there 4 years. They're still playing the Harbaugh ball.
Oh, by the way, they've actually put together a little bit of a win streak as well.
Yep. Now Herbert has a busted hand. He's saying he's going to have surgery and play.
That's wild.
Otherwise, it'd be Trey Lance. But so what? Like you said, so what? We already had the backup line.
I take that back. They did lose to the Jags. I apologize. So not so much of a win streak, but they've been able to tally up a couple wins in these.
But they're fighting for their playoff.
Correct. Yep.
Not their playoff lives. They still need to win games to solidify their playoff spot.
Oh yeah.
But still. All right, let's take a couple phone calls here. Let's go to Sean. Sean's calling from South Jersey. Is this our buddy Sean Bernard from various outlets, including Crossing Broad? Sean, is that you? Hello.
This is. How's it going, fellas?
You had a good article over the weekend that I read.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that was a little bit on Jalen and kind of like this is the first time in the Jalen Hurts era, or really since he's kind of taken that leap, that it's had me reevaluating things a little bit. But I kind of wanted to make a point about like Sirianni's overarching role in this.
Yeah.
And like Sirianni is obviously a guy who's like a CEO type of head coach who wants to, isn't the guy calling the plays and that kind of thing. But every time you hear him talk, and this is dating back even before this season, that he's a guy that says, put the responsibility on me, that this is a reflection of me, this is on me, basically. So if that's the case, like, what do you think is stopping him from being the guy to say, give me the sticks, I'm calling the plays. If I'm going to take the responsibility, I'm going to be the guy that calls the shots. And do you think there's any chance that happens?
I mean, it should. Doesn't he, like, you would think that he's a defensive coordinator, a defensive coach that has never called offensive plays. So you can't look at me to do that. Like, what do you mean? I'm not going to call plays. No, you're actually an offensive coordinator before, Nick. But so right. Sean, here's my question to it. Is the team, is this an Howie Roseman thing saying, yeah, Nick, you're not going to call plays anymore? Because guess what I'd be saying if I was Howie Roseman? Hey, Nick, you better start calling plays. Something. Right. Or is Jalen the scapegoat here and everybody in the organization believes that this is a Jalen problem, not a play calling problem?
It's tough because, like, we've seen Jalen Hurts be an elite quarterback in an elite offense in different situations. That's obviously not happening this year. But if we're breaking down, like, where this goes wrong, I'm more inclined to believe, well, I have evidence that this guy can do this in different situations versus we're not seeing the success this year with Petula calling it. And I also think, like, the Eagles as an organization have sort of established, like, a framework which is incredibly admirable, and a ton of organizations would love to be in this spot here. But it's like no guy, including the head coach, is sort of bigger than the role. And there's almost limitations within that. I kind of wonder if Sirianni just doesn't have the voice that, like, a head coach probably should.
Why don't you think he's calling plays?
I think there is a point of he likes a little bit of separation, that Petula is the guy, and he also is sort of loyal to a fault here, that this was the decision that he made. He's obviously had some misses as far as hires in past years, and this was the bet that he made. He's willing to sleep in it. It's sort of how I feel the season's currently at.
It's great stuff, Sean. Appreciate it. We'll keep reading you on Crossing Broad, calling again.
Yeah, nice work.
I think that's part of it.
Yep.
But then the other part of it is Andy Reid's loyal to his guys, but when Andy Reid needs to step in and call plays, guess what Andy Reid's doing? As well as every other freaking Dan Campbell did it up in Detroit. Every other head coach with an offensive background, when things are struggling, guess what happens? The head coach gives the play calling responsibilities away sometimes when it's not working. Stefanski's giving it away in Cleveland.
I'm just pitching this out there. Maybe he's just waiting for the word above. Maybe Nick Sirianni really isn't the guy making all of the decisions. Maybe he is waiting for Howie Roseman to say, now it's time to make a change.
Coming up, I'm going to make the case that they're blaming Jalen Hurts, and that's why they're not going to do it. All right?
Wow.
I believe that's the case. That's coming up next. Middays with Marks and Sean Brace, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, listen. If you're in the market for a new safe or a safe, and you might think to yourself, like, oh, why do I need a safe? Believe me, you need a safe. Now, maybe you don't have a ton of valuables, right? Maybe you do have valuables, but there's many reasons to get a safe, including, you may not know it, but you have a lot of stuff that's worth locking up. Like for me, it's birth certificates, passports, old family photos. I have some stuff from my great-grandmother that means a lot to me, right? Like, what happens in case of a fire or a flood, or just you have your damn kids running around the house destroying stuff, right? So even with valuables, where are you going to put that? That's why Liberty Safes in New Jersey is such a smart move. Largest selection of Liberty Safes in the tri-state area, entire area. And real people will actually help you choose what fits your home. And I spoke with Brian and Deborah, the owners. They've been in business for 3 decades. So from the first time you visit them, they have 2 showrooms, Route 73 in Mount Laurel or Horizon Drive in Hamilton Township. All right. First time you visit them, they're saying, like, okay, they're not trying to upsell you. They want to know your budget. They want to know exactly what you're looking for. And then from delivery to installation, they're there with you. So all you really need is the will or the want to have a safe. They take care of everything else, right? You're not getting a sketchy delivery driver dropping off a 600-pound safe and throwing it on your driveway and leaving. They deliver. They install your safe the right way, and maybe you're a responsible gun owner. How about a gun safe? And they have a great selection. But best selection, best prices. You're dealing with a family-run and operated business for over 3 decades. LibertySafesNJ.com. LibertySafesNJ.com, or stop by their showroom. Again, Route 73 in Mount Laurel or Horizon Drive in Hamilton Township, and tell them John Mark sent you.
Now, on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
No change in the play caller. I'm Sean Rodman, and Nick Sirianni said after the game there will not be a change for the offensive play caller. Jalen Hurts also spoke post-game in his confidence level in Kevin Patullo.
Yeah, I got confidence in him. I got confidence in this team. I got confidence in us when we're collaborative. I got a lot of confidence when we have an identity. So I think that's the first thing that we got to establish that we've talked about.
The Eagles have a few extra days to find that identity. They're heading to L.A. next week to take on the Chargers on Monday Night Football. The Sixers fell in double overtime to the Atlanta Hawks. Maxi's 44 points was not enough in the loss, and he missed two crucial free throws at the end of the first overtime. The Sixers are back in action Tuesday at home against the Wizards. The Flyers finished its 4-game road trip over the weekend, going 3-1, and go for its 4th win in a row tonight, taking on the Penguins at home. You can listen to the game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Pre-game coverage begins at 6:30. This update is brought to you by Macy's Backstage. Macy's Backstage is a whole department inside your Macy's store where you can find so many holiday essentials, all for under $25. Don't wait. Find a location at Macy'sBackstage.com. I'm Sean Rodman on the home of the 76ers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
By the way, I'm not going to. We're back Middays with Marks. Sean Rodman producing. Ray returns tomorrow. Sean Brace.
What up?
With us today. I'm not going to do this for 4 hours because I can't. We're going to talk about the Eagles for the whole show, and we'll mix in some other stuff. But
sure.
We are going to have a couple of segments to where we can take a breath and smile a little bit.
It's just frustrating because you were looking at a team that was very capable of, and again, all the money spent on offense, and very capable of doing something special, getting back to another Super Bowl, possibly winning another championship. We know how difficult it is, and you're seeing it right now. I think there's a little bit of, to the fact that these guys were smelling themselves a little bit. The want isn't necessarily right there, right in front of my face for a championship, mental, stable ball club. We're not seeing that right now, and that's unfortunate. This team on paper is good enough to compete for another Super Bowl. Right now, the way that they're playing on Sundays, hell no, not even close.
The fight, because effort's one thing, and like I in that Bucs game we talked about 2 years ago, where they just got their doors blown off. I didn't think the team quit. I think the team was waiting for the game to be over because they knew they had no chance, and that's how they played pretty much the rest of that. I saw that on Friday. I saw a team that just wanted the game to be over with because they couldn't stop them, and that's not something you've seen from the defense before. I didn't see fight in the team. I didn't see guys that were pissed out on the field. I didn't see guys that were going down with the ship and saying, no, we're not losing this game. I saw guys that were like, oh, we're getting our ass kicked. All right.
And for the most part, after the game, Saquon Barkley, it's like, yeah, we got to work more on finishing drives. It's like,
what does that mean?
You haven't finished a drive all season, it feels like. You're one of the worst in the history of the game as far as 3 and outs. What are we talking about right now?
All right, so so give me a second on why I think that they're blaming Jalen Hurts. And it's relatively.
When you say they are, who you?
The Eagles.
Okay.
So, how long ago was this? A couple weeks ago, the story came out. Oh, well, Jalen's teammates are Diana Rossini.
Oh, yeah.
And then D Gunn followed it up with Jalen's not doing well against zone offense. He's not making the throws that he should. He's not trusting the receivers. It was very much like that. You think that came from the team? That information gets put out there to the reporters. Like, here's our explanation. Jalen's not playing the quarterback position very well. And they're hoping maybe it motivates it. At practice all week, they're doing this, they're doing that. Everybody's doing what they're supposed to. The game happens, he's not doing it. Missing open receivers, etc. Oh, I'm sure Jalen appreciated being aired out in the media. He's not stupid. He knows where that's coming from. Mm-hmm. All right, so I read this. Jimmy Kempski, Philly Voice, gives out awards after every game. And one of the he listed with in one of the awards is he says that he's been told that Jalen Hurts doesn't like designed runs. So when they're talking about the offense and running the ball and everything else, and it's that, oh, well, by the way, Jalen doesn't like to run the ball with designed runs. Mm-hmm. Now, you can look at it a couple different ways that, like, A, is that smart? I mean, what makes Jalen Hurts a dual threat, you need the dual to be the dual threat. And if he's not throwing the ball well enough, then he's going to have to run. Otherwise, this offense sucks. But why? Like Jimmy says that he's hearing this. Why is he hearing this? Is it people behind the scenes just talking about like, well, he won't run because that's what everybody was saying the last couple of weeks, which was Chris Collinsworth said it on the broadcast. Yeah. Everybody's been talking about it. You got to get him more involved in the running offense, in designed runs. At least according to what Jimmy Kempski's the whispers he's hearing is that he does not. I'm told does not love having a lot of designed quarterback runs in the game plan. That's from Jimmy Kempski.
Yeah, and like you said, you want that from your leader, your quarterback, because we saw what happened last year when he went down with the head injury against the Commanders. That was the only game they lost, right? So he needs to be healthy. And obviously longevity of a career, you don't want to be taking those hits. But, by the way, like, this is a desperate spot. Like, things have to change. This offense has not been good all season long. They have not lived up to the expectations. And one of the things is running the football and how you make life easier for Saquon Barkley and this offensive line, opening things up, is having Jalen Hurts make plays with his feet. So you got to, like, the rubber meets the road somewhere.
That's when he's most confident, and when not even just running the ball, but throwing the ball on the run too. It feels like that one sets up everything else.
Get him on the outside.
When he's having success, he's making the throws. He's confident making the throws. It was another windy day.
Yeah.
We know he doesn't have confidence throwing the ball when it's a windy day. We saw it against the Lions. Williams didn't have any problems throwing the ball on. I mean, he's not the most accurate guy in the world or whatever, but he didn't lack confidence throwing that ball up there. Jalen just looks like when you have low confidence, Jalen, that's bad.
And it's amazing because he comes off as like one of the stoic, players that we've ever seen.
Jordan type.
Yeah. And he is a Jordan athlete. And we're the Super Bowl MVP. He deserves all the respect in the world, but I'm sorry, the box score is the box score. He is struggling right now.
Let's go to Mike in South Philly. Mike, what do you got? Good morning.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What up?
Yeah, man, I just think, man, Sirianni got to go. It was one point, man, that the reporter asked him. And the first one it felt so embarrassing, like being like when you're like a super Philly defender. They asked Sirianni at the halftime. They said, what's the defensive adjustments? Basically, he did a rambling answer, didn't answer the question. So she basically had to reiterate, asking, what are you going to do? Obviously, he has no answer because it was a defensive question. So him not having no answers for a defensive question, obviously, and then can't do nothing on offense. Like at this point, like what are you here for? So I don't want us to get an offensive coordinator that's going to wind up getting a head coaching job somewhere else. We want to just go replace him, get a head coach in here that can call plays, stick with Vic, and see if we can maximize this talent.
All right, Mike, appreciate it. Nick Sirianni's not going to get whacked. So if he has after this year, if he had another bad season, the Eagles have already shown they'll get rid of their head coach if they don't think he's the guy.
I agree with you, but the frustrating thing for me is when you look at what Ben Johnson brought to the table and that offense, and I'm not even setting the bar that high. There are great offensive minds out there. Like, again, this offense put together with Saquon Barkley, Devonta Smith, A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, Jalen Hurts, the offensive line is what it is. Like, this team on paper should be better, needs to be better, and now they are just pissing this season away, John.
So what do you think it is?
Unfortunately, it's a combination of everything. And I hate to say it, it's
Agreed.
a cop-out, but it is. It's no trust on offense. Nobody trusts anybody right now.
Okay, so what do you think the biggest thing is? Because you're right. There's far more than one answer to this problem. What do you think the biggest issue is? Right? You said trust.
Yeah, it's
and
trust.
I agree. This team doesn't trust each other.
No, they don't trust. And if you don't have any trust, you're up against it. You speak from a relationship standpoint. We'll just keep it basic there. If you don't have trust with your significant other, that it's not going to work. And here we are. For some odd reason, I get it. And, John, I come back to the offensive line. The offensive line was sluggish to start. They weren't opening up holes, and it was just so frustrating. And Jalen can't step up into the pocket. I'm not asking him to be Joe Burrow. I'm not asking him to be, to be that pocket passer. But you have to give him some time. You have to. And he wasn't getting that in the first half.
Middays with Marks. It's Sean Brace, 610-632-0975. We'll hear from Nick Sirianni on changing the play caller. Also, A.J. Brown was asked if there should be some changes made. We'll play that for you as well coming up. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
the play caller. But we will evaluate everything, and that's what this weekend we'll have another little mini bye, and I think that's another short week, another short week that leads to a long weekend where we'll evaluate everything.
Nick Sirianni, the mini bye. Oh, I love the mini bye.
You're going to need every day of this mini bye to evaluate that tape. That's how ugly it was, John.
I don't think you need even a second.
Oh, no?
No, I think Jeffrey Lurie comes down and says, someone else is calling plays. We got to do something.
I think that's going to happen. I really do. I don't care what he says after the game. You know darn well they didn't have an opportunity to speak, and those boos were loud. I heard John Kincade say to his daughter, who's been to a few games, she said, Daddy, I've never heard it as loud as
Not
this
like
one.
that.
No, it was coming through the television set as well.
It was bad. And the cameras do a good job of making sure they find the biggest booers out there.
Yeah, some really good good-looking Eagles fans.
Because is there anything better to a national audience than the Eagles crumbling at home what was the Delco woman from a couple years ago, 2023?
Correct. Yeah. And you referenced the national pundit where he said something along the lines of, like, there is nothing more uglier than an unhappy Eagle fan. And it's like, yeah.
Disloyal fans.
There you go, yeah.
Like, you can say a lot about Eagles fans. Loyalty, like, to me, it's like the loyalty would be, I'm not going to watch the team for the rest of the year. We just get mad.
I don't want to derail it, but, John, it's happening again.
I know.
This is Nick Sirianni. This team is better than what they're showing us this year, especially on Black Friday. It's the holiday season. I'm fat from turkey, and that's what you give me. It's happening again under Nick Sirianni's watch.
You do look like you put on 2-3 pounds.
Oh,
since
man.
I saw you.
Back and forth from the couch to the fridge. The fridge, the couch. I don't have anything going on in my life right now.
I hear you. Let's hear A.J. Brown after the game was being asked about changes happening. Here it is.
Are changes needed?
As in what?
Whether it's personnel, whether it's coaching staff?
That's a crazy question.
That's a what?
Crazy question. Yeah, for me, absolutely. It's crazy. But no.
For me? Oh, yeah, it's really crazy.
Is he saying it's crazy for him to answer? Like, you know.
What do you want me to say, essentially, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Well, guess what, AJ? You tend to give crazy responses, not crazy responses, honest responses sometimes.
Man, you know, this team, Super Bowl champion, and the vibes that were coming out of the locker room were so disappointing from the jump. Who was the main culprit? Who was the one guy that really, started things going a little bit on the negative side of town here? Oh, gee, it wouldn't happen to be that guy, would it? No.
We'll talk about AJ coming up in a second, but I believe that this is where the owner, and this is where having a good owner like Jeffrey Lurie that's not in the south, southern France and south of France right now, and he's not Jerry Jones where he thinks he's the general manager, but he's there every day. Mm-hmm. He knows what's going on in the locker room. He knows what the feeling is. Everybody knows. The coaches know this offense stinks. The players know this offense stinks. Howie Roseman knows this offense stinks. Jeffrey Lurie knows the offense stinks. So if you're going to continue to do the same thing without changing anything, why would we believe anything different is going to happen? So what's the one obvious move you can make? And I've said this for weeks, and I'll continue to say it. I'm not telling you Kevin Patullo's doing a good job, but I'm not putting blame on just Kevin Patullo. This is a combination of a lot of different things. The one move you can make is to get a new play caller. But who is it going to be? Because Nick Sirianni doesn't seem a whole lot very interested in doing it.
Yeah, I love the fact that we're combining the two. What Jeff McClain's doing at the Siritulo. Is that what we're going with?
Yes.
As far as nicknames go, do you like that thumbs up, thumbs down to Siritulo?
Shaded up.
All right. How about, Jake Elliott with, I never heard this before, and I guess on the morning show, Missy Elliott?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty good.
Not a lot of confidence with Jake these days.
Let's
for
go,
right or for wrong.
Jake. Come on, Jake. You're better than that.
You have the quarterback's coach, but it's his first year on the team. So Nick Foles had this idea, and he has a podcast now. Go figure, another athlete or ex-athlete with a podcast. He's got a podcast, and he says rather than just saying, "Hey, fire Kevin Patullo," because everybody agrees that the offense needs something different, a change right now. Put him up in the booth. Get him off the sideline. Put him up in the booth. He has a different vantage point of the game. It's a different dynamic. Put somebody, maybe the quarterback's coach is down there. Do something different. And if that's a good starting point, if that's all you're going to do.
Yeah. Like, we know he's not going to fire his guy. That's his guy. We know that's not going to happen at this point in time, so try something, do something, change it up. You have to. This offense has been atrocious.
But I don't even think it's that big of a deal for Nick to say, hey, I'm going to call plays this week. It happens all the time. It happens where coaches give up play to, like Kevin Stefanski multiple times over the last few years. Now, the Browns have sucked, but he's given up play calling duties. Offensive coordinators give the play calling duties back to Dan Campbell. Said, I'm calling plays. We're struggling. I'm calling plays. Like, this isn't, you don't have to fire Kevin Patullo. You say, hey, listen, how about just like give somebody else a chance? Like, let me get in there. Let me call some plays. Maybe you get a different rhythm. Maybe you're feeling it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah, the offensive coordinator from the Detroit Lions was asked, and he said point blank, man, I'm here. We're here to win. Like, this is what it's all about. If this is what it takes for us to start taking that next step to winning football games, so be it. That's what I would like to hear. Again, this is happening again under Nick Sirianni's watch. Do something.
I'll be shocked if we go into Monday Night Football with the same thing. I'll be shocked.
I will be very surprised. You're right.
Let's go to Scott, West Philly. Scott, go ahead, man. What's up? Good morning.
I know you said, what's up, fellas? What's going on? Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
You too, buddy.
I know you said Nick's not getting cut, but your boy just said it. This is the second time under his watch. If they bottom out, that'll be two historic collapses. History. In NFL history under Nick's watch. He's supposed to manage the players. He's supposed to manage the locker room. Or there's gossip, there's drama, there's tension, just undisciplined on the field. Like, what is he doing? He ain't calling plays on offense. He ain't calling plays on defense. He's not managing the locker room. And he has two historic collapses?
Yep.
That sounds like he's cut to me. They cut Doug Peterson when he didn't want to fire his guy, remember?
Yep.
I mean, what makes Sirianni's job so secure? You know?
Two Super Bowls in 3 years. But after 2023, he was in real danger of getting whacked. And he saved his job.
Yeah.
You know what he did that Doug Peterson didn't do? He said, who do you want me to hire as offensive coordinator? Because Doug, he was like, no, I want to keep Press Taylor. No, Matt Burke is going to be my defensive coordinator. And they're like, yeah, that's dumb. You're out of here. So Nick is trying to save his job.
He's going down with his boy now. He's going down with his boy now. If Patullo's here and he lets Patullo keep running out there, he's going down with that ship if this thing bottoms out. Because Jalen's not – I know everybody mentions Jalen's confidence, but Jalen's not – we all see the route tree these receivers are running. Jalen isn't making them run these routes. Jalen isn't making them not get open. Your line is not Jalen's fault. Like, yeah, he's not good right now, but it's a collective. It's a collective.
It is.
It is.
And it starts at the top.
You know what? And I think Sean and I both have the same feeling coming in here today. This is a Nick Sirianni problem. This is a Howie Roseman problem. This is a Jeffrey Lurie problem. You guys got to fix this. Because if you keep doing what you're doing, you may make the playoffs just because you started out with 8 wins. I mean, squat. We saw what happened 2 years ago.
Just real quick on the route tree, we had a caller calling last week talk about the hitch. No team runs the amount of hitches that the Eagles do. And for those that don't know, hitches is basically a 3-yard pattern, so it's just real easy to defend. And the Eagles run it more than anybody. I mean, it is just crazy the amount of hitches they run. The defense obviously is picking up on this, and it's a hell of a lot easier for them to defend this system as a whole. Like, it's everything right now. So, yeah, Nick Sirianni could come in and call different plays, but they have to change a lot of fundamental stuff that they do on offense, or else I think we're still going to see the same stuff that's going to happen no matter who's calling the plays.
My question is, because we see the wide open receivers not getting thrown to. We see that every week. If you watch another game, another team, and they're struggling, are quarterbacks missing those same wide open receivers on a regular basis? Because Jalen's missing them on a regular basis.
Yeah, not when you're talking about the better players in the league. Like Geno Smith will miss those throws, sure. But the better quarterbacks, no, they're putting them on the money.
Yeah, or the top quarterbacks missing receivers like that. Yeah, the crappy quarterbacks do it all the time.
And one more real quick. The Bears came in down 3 linebackers.
I know.
3 starting linebackers. Why was not the idea of attack at that position? Let's get Dallas Goedert involved. Let's run the middle of the field. Let's own the middle of the field. And then you have that opportunity, and Dallas Goedert is wide open by himself, and you don't even throw the football to him.
Tank Bigsby had 1 snap.
Oh, my goodness.
1 snap, no carries. After he has fresh legs and he's out there running up a storm. 1 snap.
And it was nasty weather, and you got your quarterback, and I get it. Second half, you had to air it out. But come on, man. You got to run the football a little bit more.
It was still a close game until the fourth quarter. All right, coming up, we're going to examine how much of a role A.J. Brown and his behavior is playing into where this team is right now.
I like that.
I think it's worth a conversation. That's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Eagles offense struggles again. I'm Sean Rodman, and the Eagles had 4 3-and-outs on Friday, along with 2 turnovers on offense. Nick Sirianni was asked after the game if there would be a change with the offense's play caller.
No, we're not changing the play caller. But we will evaluate everything, and that's what this weekend we'll have another little mini bye, and I think that's another short week, another short week that leads to a long weekend where we'll evaluate everything.
The Eagles have a few extra days heading to L.A. next week to evaluate everything to take on the Chargers on Monday Night Football. Justin Herbert suffered a fracture in his non-throwing hand. He'll undergo surgery today. It is uncertain if he will play against the Eagles next Monday. The Sixers fell in double overtime to the Atlanta Hawks. Maxey's 44 points was not enough in the loss. He missed 2 crucial free throws late in the first overtime. The Sixers are back in action on Tuesday at home against the Wizards. The Flyers go for its 4th win in a row tonight, taking on the Penguins at home. You can listen to the game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Pre-game coverage begins at 6:30. This update is brought to you by Indeed.com. Stop just hoping the right applicants find your job. Sponsor it on Indeed and match with quality talent. Start at Indeed.com/credit. Again, that's Indeed.com/credit. I'm Sean Rodman on the home of the 76ers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
I promise some fun is coming up, all right? I can't do this the whole show, but we're going to do it for most of the show.
Yeah.
This is when Mike threw up.
Oh, man. Oh.
We added that to the drop board.
Oh, man. That was live on air?
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Just had some dry heaves.
That's dedication. It's dedication.
Martinez tells the story that he got it on the floor, so they had to do the show from the studio.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, from the producer studio. Sean, you would have been in there with the host today.
I mean, hey, there's enough room for everybody in here.
Oh,
Yeah, right. No, you can do a show in there.
Yeah.
There's microphones and
Wait,
screens.
but hang on. I was in the bar industry forever. You throw up in the bar, you get booted. You mean to tell me he threw up and he was able to finish the show? Go home.
No, he went home.
Oh, okay.
But Martinez, they had to do the show from there.
I was like, wait, what?
Just had some dry heaves.
Poor
man.
Mike. I remember that day.
I went out Saturday for the full day of college football. My goodness, Michigan, Ohio State in the snow. John Marks, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I had Ohio State, so I was happy with that. I tried to parlay it with Penn State covering 14, which didn't happen.
One, yeah. But great day of college football. Great weekend, of course, and a lot that I know we're going to get to a little bit later with Lane Kiffin. But, yeah, that's how I felt on Sunday morning.
Yep.
I was struggling. The struggle bus was heavy.
You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. By the way, you don't have to miss a minute of Middays with Marks. Wherever you get your podcast, subscribe right now. And if you're loving the show, give us a 5-star review. It helps spread the word and keeps the conversation rolling. So subscribe, follow. We break it down hour by hour so you can dive in and be like, all right, what are they talking about if you don't watch it live? Like, oh, look, hour number 2, they talked about this. All right, let me go take a listen to that. So just make sure wherever you get your podcast, if you don't catch us live or you miss some of the show, go back and check it out later. Just search Middays with Marks wherever you get your podcast. All right. So I have to ask this question, and I'm an A.J. Brown fan.
You are.
I love A.J. Brown.
You're a defender. You defended him last week.
I've been an A.J. Brown defender. I have to now question whether or not, because I do believe, and I firmly believe this, that the biggest issue with the Eagles right now isn't Kevin Patullo, isn't that Jalen Hurts sucks as a quarterback throwing the ball, and those things are part of it, the offense, or offensive line, all that stuff. But when you go back to 2023, the biggest issue with that team was there was internal turmoil that was going on. And it involved, if you remember A.J. Brown, it involved Jalen Hurts. It involved the rest of the team. It involved Brian Johnson. It involved Nick Sirianni and his relationship with Jalen Hurts. All these things were well documented. And I'm wondering, or I believe that that's what's happening right now inside the Eagles locker room. You don't come out and play like that against the Bears at home, knowing what's at stake, to where the defense is getting blown off the ball. They got dominated, and I didn't see the fight. And this all started, and it was probably going on internally, but when A.J. started doing the tweets and A.J. started talking about it publicly, although even then I was like, well, if this is his way of dealing with it, then that's his way of dealing with it. That was the first time you realized, hey, there is stuff going on. It's not just last year they won the Super Bowl, everything was great. No, there's stuff going on. And I'm wondering if that's what started this skid when AJ was doing the social media stuff and the tweets and talking and everything else.
Yeah, without making AJ the full scapegoat of the struggles and the losing right now, because I think, like I said, that's complicated. But, John, I'm on the record right from the jump that I was disappointed with the vibes from the locker room from a defending Super Bowl champion. And it all started because of A.J. Brown. That's it. I mean, bullseye on his back. He was not happy, even when they were winning, when they go down to Tampa Bay, and he had 9 targets, and it still was not good enough because he only came away with 2 catches. Like, that was the moment where it's like, all right, dude, like, what do you want here? Like, this is a team game. If you're opening up stuff for other players and you're winning football games, and, oh, by the way, on the road in Tampa, where this team does not win, okay, and you're somewhat negative, and you're tweeting, and you're posting, and you have to apologize. Miss me with the apologizing. Yeah, it starts with A.J. Brown. When you get into you got to be honest with that discussion. It started with A.J. Brown.
Do they need Stubbs from the Phillies to be the chief vibe officer?
They have
in this?
Stubbs. It's Dom. Dom is Stubbs.
Yes.
This is when everybody needs to earn their check.
So remember,
right? Everybody's dancing.
Well,
you got Wallow and
he's the mascot,
right? Like, whatever. I don't even think it's Wallow. It's the other guy, Gilly.
Yeah,
you got Gilly dancing outside like Financial Field. Everybody needs to earn their check right now. Where you at?
Yeah, I think they've tried. Well, the thing, like Dom brought Jeffrey Lurie over to A.J. Brown, right? And this was after like the third A.J. Brown thing where he went from Instagram to Twitter or Twitter to Instagram, and then he was on
Threads.
No, he was. No, he opened the network on LinkedIn.
Yeah, no,
looking for work on LinkedIn.
Open the network. That's me right now. No, it was on the YouTube stream. It was the Twitch.
It was Twitch.
There
yes.
you go.
Yeah, we don't know if he changed. Is he looking for a job? Is that on LinkedIn? But so Dom brings him over, and if you think about it, again, I'm trying to think of what would make the team behave this way, unless it's just so bad internally. AJ is going on various social media places, complaining about the offense, and we know who he's complaining about. Let's not play games here. I'm not going to play games, all right? I'm not going to BS anybody, right? So Jeffrey Lurie comes to practice, right? We talk about practice. And he talks to AJ. It's leaked that AJ said, I'm sorry, and Jeffrey Lurie said, you don't have to apologize. And the meeting ended with a hug. So not only has AJ been talking crap on social media about the quarterback, the owner's hugging him in practice and telling him he doesn't need to apologize. What is going on internally that look at the way the owner's handling this.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Super Bowl champion. Like
off of a Super Bowl.
It's so deflating. Like, this is ridiculous. He's so much better than this.
Mark my words. Do we agree that Jeffrey Lurie is a brilliant man?
Yes, absolutely.
Great owner?
Yes.
Is Howie Roseman a brilliant GM?
I think that goes without being said.
Probably going in the Hall of Fame.
Correct.
At this point.
One of the most important people in Philadelphia sports ever.
History.
Yes.
Agreed. If we both agree to that, right, then you look at this team and you look at this offense and you look at the dynamic that's going on right now. These two very intelligent, great at their job, owner, general manager, whoever else in that organization, can't possibly not make a change. They can't possibly say, you know what, Nick Sirianni, play some dumb Nick Sirianni drops so we can who we're talking about here, right?
I'm the dumbest coach in the world.
Thank you, Nick.
They are not, after 2023, after watching what happened in 2023, they are not going to sit by and stand there and say, you know what, Nick, you won the Super Bowl last year. I'm going to defer to you, and we're going to let Patullo continue to call plays. No freaking way is the owner and the general manager, elite, going to allow this to continue. No way.
And there's nothing better than experience. And from Jeffrey and Howie both have been through Andy, the end of Andy, Chip Kelly, the highs and lows.
They've seen it.
Doug Peterson, who wins the first Super Bowl in franchise history. Get rid of him. Remember, 2020 was a disaster of a year. Get to a Super Bowl. 2023, no. What took place on Friday with the Boo Birds, Jeffrey Lurie cannot allow or cannot have a change not be made at this point in time. You have to do something different.
I'll be shocked if something doesn't happen. I'll be shocked.
Yeah, that's where I'm at, too.
I'll be totally shocked.
It's tomorrow, right? Tomorrow, what, a Schefter tweet's going to come out, or is this going to be, at the media?
McClain. Is it local or national? Do they give this one to the national?
I don't think Jeff McClain's going to get much after his article over the weekend. That's for sure.
Well, you maybe
he took
right.
a bullseye right out of Nick Sirianni's back.
So Sean Rodman is in for Ray today. Ray will be back tomorrow. Sean Brace is describing you went all the way back to Andy. You went to Andy. To Chip.
Yep.
Doug wins the Super Bowl. They whack him. Chip was the best thing ever, and then they get rid of him. They gave him the power, get rid of him, and then you go to Sirianni. Super Bowl appearance, miserable season, Super Bowl victory was turning into a miserable season. How manic is this freaking franchise? What are we doing, and how much of a role do we play in this? Probably a lot.
Yeah.
This is bad. This is very, very bad.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, and it's just funny how this plays out. But all in all, man, I trust our eyes, right? Like, this team is better than what they have shown us all season long. They haven't put together 4 quarters all season long. Not one game did they play a complete game. And
are they capable of it, though?
No. We have 5 games. Like, this is the team now.
Yeah, it's over.
We got 5 games left in the regular season. We know who this team is.
They'll win a couple more games. They have the second easiest schedule going forward in the NFL. They'll win a couple more games. They'll probably win the division. And then we'll be going to the playoffs, and we'll be talking ourselves into saying, like, oh, no, they're not going to lose to Team X. They're not going to lose to Team Y. And then they'll lose to them.
Well, let me ask you, because I did say make the case for Monday. Are you willing to say that they're going to win that game? My guy Colin Good texted me. He said, 10 days to prepare, many bye, backs against the wall. They usually produce. He has faith. He's also going to that game, so that's why he's positive. No, I don't see them winning. To go on the flight across country to beat a team that's playing for their playoff lives, you need a little bit more of mental makeup, strength in that category, and I'm not seeing it right now for this team.
Once you get to that point in the marriage where you both know changes need to be made and you're getting divorced, A.J. Brown ain't coming back next year, folks.
No, he's done.
He's done. I think he wants to be done here, and I think the Eagles know that it's not going to work here. But once you get in that spot in your relationship, at the holidays, you can rally and look like you're happy at Christmas, or you can do all this, but ultimately you know it's done. They know it's done.
He's 28. He's got to mature, man. A.J. Brown's got to mature. He has a Hall of Fame makeup, but, man, it's frustrating. It really did start with him.
All right.
Be a negative.
We'll come. Anthony has a bone to pick with me about A.J. Brown. 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975.
Oh, by the way, the bbest player on Friday.
Yeah, he was the best player. Well, there's a lot of garbage yards, too, in that game. That's coming up, and then we'll have a little bit of fun. And here's the other thing. I have a major issue. There's something going on at the station, and this is no, but just something happened since last week, and I finally figured it out. I'm really miffed. A certain member of the Middays with Marks show. I'll explain coming up. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, everybody.
Marks, Fanatic Deal of the Week. Check out, how about this? 2 adult extended day lift tickets to Bear Creek Mountain in Macungie. Your wife's from up there.
Shout out Macungie.
$80. That's for 2.
It's a good deal.
Bear Creek, the ultimate destination for skiing and snowboarding, featuring breathtaking views and thrilling trails for all skill levels. Get the deal right now through Sunday, 975thefanatic.com/deal.
You ever been there before? Bear Creek?
Is it renamed?
I don't know, but I've been to like weddings, and I did like an Easter dinner or lunch there, brunch, whatever you call it. Yeah, brunch.
We did Snow Day. John and Sean show had the Snow Day, not there.
Oh, no, that was Camelback, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
Yeah, that was a good time.
No, would have been Jack Frost or Big Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm a dummy.
No, Camelback's a good one, but yeah, that was Jack Frost.
Jack Frost was an awesome time. Awesome time.
All right, so Sean, stay with me here. Both Sean's, because it's Sean Rodman producing, Sean Brace. So on Wednesday, I got out to the car on Wednesday, and I was like, "Where's my my swipe badge to get in and out of the building and the suite or whatever?" And I can't find it. So I'm like, where is it? I don't want to leave work without it, and I also have to get home because my wife's working while the kids are at home, and like I gotta get home. So now I'm like, I don't want to go back inside because I'm all the way in my car. So I text Dylan, and I'm like, "Dude, is it sitting out there, like right there, right by where you leave?" And he's like, "I don't see it." I text Colarulo. "Is it in the studio?" I don't see it. So what the hell did I do with it? So now I'm like looking under the seat. Did I drop it once I got in the car? I'm digging through the bag. Well, I got to go. So I can't find it. So I go home, and I'm like, all right, I probably it fell underneath what. So Thursday's Thanksgiving. Friday I'm working, and I can't get in the suite. I got to knock on the door every time I go to the bathroom. I have to put the stapler in the door so it doesn't shut. So I come in, I'll find it easy. I'm looking. It's nowhere to be found. I look through my bag again. I look through my car. I can't find it anywhere. I'm like, what the hell did I do with it, right? So I'm like, geez, like this really sucks. You lose your swipe, your access to your office.
Yeah.
It's like, it sucks.
Yeah.
So I'm texting with Mike Vito over the weekend because we're trying to figure out what we're doing as far as co-hosting for the week. And I'm like, hey, we haven't really figured it out. He's like, all right, well, Sean Monday, Harry Tuesday, we're setting it up. And he's like, well, you want to get Martinez in? And I'm like, yeah, I always want to get Martinez in. He's like, well, you want to do him Monday. And I'm like, why Monday? And he's like, well, then you could get your swipe back. Your swipe back. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, oh, well, he took your swipe on Wednesday by mistake, and then he could bring it back on Monday.
Well, he borrowed it to use the bathroom and didn't give it back.
I will leave it out for the guys in case they need to do it or whatever. He put it in his pocket.
Very
and left.
trustworthy. We appreciate that.
Which I'm never doing again for you losers. So he takes the swipe. He realizes it. Why didn't he tell me? Like, hey, dude, yo.
He texted Vito. And you're running around here like a chicken with a head cut off trying to find it.
I was looking, like, it couldn't have been in my house. I was looking in my house anyway for it. I was underneath the seat in the car, like with the flashlight to the phone, trying to see, like, did I miss a crevice or a space it could be? And he had it.
Had it the whole time. Martinez, come on.
Well, why wouldn't he text me and tell me?
When you were telling me before the show, I was trying to figure out, like, trying to give him an excuse of some sort. But for him just not to text you, I don't understand.
Yeah, that's because, like you said, you spent a lot of time and effort and sweat and capital trying to find that bad boy, and he had it the whole time.
All he had to do is say, "Yo, dude, sorry."
This is a man that's been dealing with swipe badges his whole life. He knows how important it is.
And I find out from Vito, who is saying, "Hey, have him come in Monday so then you can get your swipe back." I'm like, huh?
So it sounds like to me that Martinez kept it. He was probably on 76, remembered, and was like, I'm not texting John. I'm going to text Vito and be like, hey.
Maybe I'm thinking they saw each other at the Flyers game or something.
Oh, there it is.
Because they do the Flyers broadcast together. So he told him. Nice. And, Jason's been going through a lot. Whatever. Maybe it just slipped his mind. It's just odd that it would have been nice to get the text so I wasn't looking for it on Saturday.
Let's go here.
My kids are, Daddy, come throw the Frisbee with me. Shut up. I got to find this swipe badge. Like, seriously, like with me, I never stopped thinking about it. Because then I'm like, what if I need to get into the office and no one's answering and I'm knocking on the door and
you're cooked.
I'm like, So like now I'm like frantic about it, and he has it the whole time. So,
I do want to say this though. Shout out to Jason, man, and the Flyers and what they did the other day.
Puck drop.
Oh, my goodness. Goosebumps just thinking about it right now and what Jason has been through and how much he loves the Flyers and how cool that was to be in the to get the daps, the stick taps.
So if you don't know, it was
man.
what was the brand of it? It was it was for
Stand Up for Cancer.
Stand Up for Cancer.
Yeah, Stand Up to Cancer, not for cancer. Yeah, a little bit different.
You wouldn't want to support cancer.
Yeah, it's the last thing I want to support.
So Jason dropped the puck.
Yes.
And it was really, really cool.
With the I believe, the medical staff that took care of him behind him. Like, he's just...
It's a big deal.
You could see how much the players appreciate him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
And he's been fighting a good fight for that franchise for a long time.
Yeah, so I'll let him slide on this one because of that. But still, send me a text,
Come
Jay.
on.
Let's go to Anthony in New Jersey. Anthony, what do you got, buddy? How are you?
Hey, Johnny. First and foremost, I'm going to get the pleasantries out the way. Welcome back.
Thank you.
I'm a first-time listener to you, and I'm definitely delighted, except for what I heard today.
All right, what you got?
On November 21st, I sent a text and went on feedback, and I was like, I'm so sick of A.J. Brown and his shenanigans with the blowing up the team from the inside, sort of like T.O. for the most part. And you and Harry blew it off as it, can't be. And I'm like, I've seen this story before. It looks very familiar. I'm just upset that now you're kind of seeing where I'm at.
Well, I mean, I think that I'd be being pig-headed if I didn't at least consider it right now. See, Anthony, I can only, I kind of formulate, a lot of times in this business, people that have information, they formulate their opinions based on what they know. They don't necessarily tell you what they're hearing. They just give informed opinions, right? So everything that I had heard from behind the scenes from everybody, and, I'm not a reporter. I don't have the same context as a lot of these reporters, but I talk to enough people and I have relationships with enough people down there to where they know I'm not going to blurt out on the air, this is what somebody's telling me. But, I mean, it was kind of like everybody in that building loved AJ and front office players and everybody to where I think it did create division looking at it right now to where guys are like, no, we really like AJ, and Jalen, the quarterback, was kind of who they didn't like. But right now, I don't know if you agree with me, I don't think you can win when everybody isn't pulling in the same direction. This team is not pulling in the same direction. They're divided.
I can agree with that. To me, I can agree with you on that part, but to me, it's the only time they seem united is when they're lying to everybody. Oh, there's no problems in the dressing room when there's clearly issues in the dressing room.
Yeah. Well, everybody else has been able to control themselves and not publicly go on social media and rip the offense and the quarterback. AJ, but that's AJ's personality.
Well, here's where part of my problem is like to say that it's not happening or to say that there's not internal drama or whatever. The last 2 weeks, AJ is well over 200 yards total and 3 touchdowns combined? How many wins did we get?
0-2.
Let me check. Yeah, 0. No, I mean at this point, Anthony, I think it's fairly clear that AJ's behavior and his comments hasn't helped the team. That's for sure.
It didn't help when we were winning, which is the problem. That's the problem and the point I was trying to make in the beginning. Is we're winning. Granted, it's ugly, it's terrible, it looks horrible, but we were winning. He wasn't getting fed. Now that he's getting fed, ironically, here we go. We're losing. AJ needs to go. That's where I'm at with it. I'm over it with him. I just am.
Yeah,
I'm over it with them.
I think. Yeah, I mean, he can't come back next year. Thank you, Anthony.
Yeah, that's next year. But right here, right now, and we talked about this last week, how talented he is. Find a way to get him the ball. Now, is that a winning formula? I don't know. We do have one comment on YouTube I want to put to you. Neil checking in. A.J. Brown, is John serious? All A.J. is a mouthpiece for the rest of the team.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
Is he saying that the rest of the team feels the same way about Jalen?
Correct.
Yeah, I agree. No, like when I say informed opinions, I can just tell you that the talk isn't that Jalen is the most liked person down there at NovaCare. No one's ever called him a bad guy. But as far as getting along with and relationships and things like that, I mean, this is you're not hearing that right now about Jalen.
And just the last thing, I completely forgot about this, but we have a Hard Knocks coming up on HBO.
We do. We'll talk about that coming up in a second. A Hard Knocks coming out. We'll discuss on the other side. Also, I need to hear from people that still believe in this team. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
No change with the play caller. I'm Sean Rodman, and Nick Sirianni said after the game there will not be a change for the offensive play caller. Kevin Patullo will continue to call plays. Jalen Hurts also spoke post-game in his confidence level in Patullo.
Yeah, I got confidence in them. I got confidence in this team. I got confidence in us when we're collaborative. I got a lot of confidence when we have an identity. So I think that's the first thing that we got to establish that we've talked about.
Well, the Eagles haven't found their identity yet, and they have a few extra days heading into next week with L.A. on the schedule, going out to the L.A. to visit the Chargers on Monday Night Football. The Sixers fell in double overtime to the Atlanta Hawks. Maxey had 44 points, but it wasn't enough in the loss. He also missed 2 crucial free throws at the end of the first overtime. The Sixers are back in action on Tuesday at home against the Wizards. Flyers finished its 4-game road trip over the weekend, going 3-1, and go for its 4th win in a row tonight, taking on the Penguins at home. You can listen to the game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Pre-game coverage begins at 6:30. This update is brought to you by SuperSure. Do you own a small business? You need to hear this. A seismic shift is coming. It's time to get your SuperSure, not kind of sure, not pretty sure, but SuperSure, coming soon. I'm Sean Rodman on the home of the 76ers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
back. It is Middays with Marks with Sean Brace.
Hey, now.
Catch Middays with Marks every day on YouTube. There you go. Make sure you like, subscribe, drop a comment on the episode. We have a live community of people that watch the show. So you're able to do that. If you miss any portion of the show and you don't, or maybe you just don't get a chance to watch, you can watch whenever. You can go home and watch. Instead of watching TV with your family, just, like put it up on the TV. That's what you do.
That's what I do.
You put it up on the TV.
Yeah, and I was feeding my kid and watching you and Harry and Martinez. A lot of people checking in about my shirt. Miguel is taking a shot at my shirt.
That's what people do with what about my clothes? Am I okay today?
Normal. This shirt I got for a family picture. And that's what I would never buy this shirt.
Sean Robin, describe Sean's shirt now.
I got confidence in.
For the people that aren't watching and watching on YouTube.
We have a blue, I can't really see, some little striped shirt, blue up top, little gold, maroon, and I think gray underneath there.
It's a collared long sleeve. What's the term for the shirt? Like a golf shirt?
It's like
but
a varsity high school shirt style. And
it looks heavy.
Miguel, it is. It's thick. It is thick. And Miguel checked in. He sent a picture from Wedding Crashers, Bradley Cooper, when he was out there. That's the shirt. It's got the white collar. I got this shirt for a family picture, and I didn't even wear it. And I'm like, all right, might as well rock it.
It's not a bad shirt.
Okay, all right.
No, but you go with more browns than the typical person. You pull off the brown, especially fall. You go with fall, winter, you're doing more browns than anything else. So Sean has a brown coat that goes with the shirt.
January will come out with the black. Nothing but black.
Sean also likes wearing cowboy boots. He's got boots on.
Oh, chat. Tell me what you think about them bad boys right there. Look at this zipper.
I can't wait for feedback later.
And the ankle socks, too, to match. Let's go.
Oh, my God. I didn't even need to look to know what you were wearing. But then you gave me what I was looking for.
I haven't changed in 10 years, John. You know darn well what I'm rocking.
Yeah. The zipper right there. And then this is Sean. Like, everything flows together. You may not think it's a great shirt, but it works with the rest of the outfit.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. So, like that, I noticed the shirt. I didn't comment, but I was like, I wouldn't wear that, but you pull it off. But you know what I mean? You can wear things I can't. You're very stylish. You go on TV and you wear a sport coat and you have the pocket tie or the whatever whatever it's called.
Square. Yep.
Coming at it looks great and you look you're very stylish.
Oh, I love it. The YouTube chat is definitely gonna have some fun with this one.
Could they see the shoe in the shot?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna pop it up there.
All right.
Yeah, nice work.
There you go. Let's go to what did I tease this segment? I don't even remember now. What I teased. Oh, the Eagles suck. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Hard Knocks.
Yeah, so it's the NFC East Hard Knocks.
I don't remember this. In May, it was announced.
Yeah, it's new.
So we're going to see how this is taking place?
Well, you're going to see it. Yeah, they obviously have creative control over it because these teams would never agree to it otherwise.
Unless you're the Giants.
Yeah, unless you're too dumb to realize what you shouldn't put out there. Yeah, no, like that was the last look you're going to see inside of a real conversations inside of a front office because that continues to. They won the Super Bowl. Eagles won the Super Bowl with Saquon Barkley running for 2,000 yards, and you have their conversations that sounded like idiots. So I'll be curious to see what you actually do see. I'm sure they have to address some of the situations, but I don't think you're going to get. Are you going to get insights that really matter? Right? Like, I don't think you're going to get any insight of what's happening inside the Eagles' locker room.
Well, I think what you're going to get is what's being said publicly, right? Which is plenty to chew on there. And then you'll get some fun bits about Dom and how everybody loves him and the Boo Birds from the stadium, of course. But, yeah, this is the NFC East to appear on Hard Knocks, and it's starting this month, debuting on HBO Max.
Giants is interesting because of Dart, but...
Sure.
You know, like Dayball's not there. And
Jameis was interesting. No.
Jameis will be a star.
Yes.
And also the Scatabo, thank God, is injured because I can't take him.
Oh, yeah.
So he would have been interesting on that. The Deadskins, the Commanders,
nothing.
And then, obviously, the Cowboys are always a big draw, and they're winning right now. And that's, like, right now is when you're going to see the role the Cowboys are on.
Yeah, they'll find a way to mix in Micah Parsons, taking shots, all that.
Let's go to Greg in Bethlehem. Greg, what do you got? How are you?
Morning, guys. Sirianni drives me crazy with his weekly press conferences because he seems to think that all he has to do is say, well, we're going to self-scout thoroughly on that and take care of it. And yet nothing seems to change. I got to wondering, what do you think they see when they self-scout? Do you think they're saying, well, gee, we were one block away from making that?
No, I think
you
know what I think, Greg? What they think the quarterback's a problem, is what I think. Based on everything that you've seen, based on everything that you've heard, when the Eagles want to be heard, they put it out there so people hear what they're saying. They're telling you the quarterback's not playing at a high enough level throwing the ball, and I would agree.
I'll tell you
and
what.
That's not the only thing going on.
You're right. And it's funny that Greg says that because one of the things that went through my mind about, Vic Fangio was talking about Ben Johnson. What do you think Vic Fangio would say about the Eagles offense?
Predictable, stale. Yeah, exactly what we see. He sees it.
Oh, absolutely.
They all see it. They all see it.
Yeah.
No, the Bears had the look of a team, had the energy of a team that was coming in and they're making their first run. They've been a bad franchise for a long time. They've had bad coaching. Ben Johnson comes in and rejuvenates everything. He's a sharp play caller. His messages. He ripped his shirt off after the win.
Yeah.
The guys are playing for him. And you know what you're seeing in the Eagles locker room right now? A team that just won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
That's banged up with injuries, and they have this exhausting thing going on with turmoil in the team again. That's how they're playing, and that's what you saw on Friday. It's as simple as that.
It's unbelievable that we are 13 weeks into the season, and we have the Chicago Bears and the New England Patriots at the top of both conferences. Oh, by the way, winners of 9 combined games last year. Gotta love it. How about the Panthers and the Rams?
Yeah, that game. How the Rams lose to Carolina.
10-point favorites.
Yeah, just when you think you know what's going on in the league, you don't. The Colts are now cooked. They're losing games.
So does that mean I should change my stance on the Eagles? Because just when you think you know how this is going to play out, all of a sudden things change in this league. I can't get there. Like, I'm asking somebody to please make the case to me, other than just a wish and a prayer, a hope that on Monday Night Football against the Chargers, they're going to play better.
That's going to be what we talk about tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday. And by Monday, a lot of people will talk themselves into, yes, they're fine.
You're right.
And then they lose again. The team that I saw on Friday was a team that's going to lose to any team that has a pulse.
Absolutely.
And that's the Chargers. All right, we'll come back. The decision to go for 2 points, Sean Brace.
Here we go.
If it was the day after, we would if we were on Saturday, we would have talked about it a lot. As it stands now, it took 90 minutes for us to get into it.
Eventually you're going to have to go for 2, John Marks. Did you know that?
I was not aware that was the case.
You have to go for 2.
The Eagles decided to go for 2, and they didn't get it. And the game was essentially over at that point. But there's a strong argument that Nick Sirianni did what was right. We will discuss. We'll hear from Nick Sirianni and all that. That's coming up next. It is Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Monday, December 1st.
Middays with Marks and Brace. Ray Dunn, as far as we know. I need to get a tracker on him. But expected to return yesterday after a week down in the fun and sun. Cigarettes, drinks.
Yeah, I was wondering how many burners he had on the back deck for Thanksgiving, but then you told me he was in the Bahamas. Man, that's a hell of a trip right there for the holiday season.
I saw the Lady Owls. I guess Michigan State's really good. It was like a 35-point game or something like that. Is that correct, Sean Roberts?
Yes, they lost by 35.
So do you normally pay attention to that, or is that because of Ray?
I'll check the scores. I don't necessarily watch here for the women as much, but John Kincade was asking me earlier in the morning, so I checked.
So you looked. So you weren't, because I looked because of Ray. I wouldn't even know anything of what's going on. I looked for Ray.
I'm checking all things Temple now because of Ray Dunn as well.
Sean Rodman, you're Temple?
Yes, I'm Temple as well.
Okay, I thought so.
Nothing but Temple guys around here.
Yeah, I was Ray's producer at Temple at the TV show. Like when he was a freshman, I was a junior or senior.
Oh, so you're older than him?
Yes.
Oh, so is he on your tree as opposed to being, because Sean technically is on my intern tree, although the intern was.
Well, Ray helped me get here, so I'm also on his tree. So it may work both ways for us.
Because I'm on the Mike Mystery.
I was just saying,
you're
we're on the Mike Mystery. Wow.
Ortiz is on the Mike Mystery.
Good way of looking at it there.
I think you'd have to put Colarulo at least slightly, even though it wasn't his producer. Right?
Yeah,
Ray's on the tree.
It's a pretty good tree right there.
That's a tree.
That's a tree. That's a tree.
That's
a
a
good
tree.
tree right there.
That's the tree. That's not the tree, the Christmas tree. The one year, Sean, I bought it at the dollar store parking lot, and it was dead within 10 days because I didn't want to pay what the farm across the street pays. It's like $200 to get a big tree.
Going today after the show. Picking up daughter from school, and we're going to go scoop up our tree today because it was raining yesterday.
It was terrible yesterday. I was supposed to put up all my decorations, outside decorations. I didn't. But, yeah, so anyway, whatever. All right, so going for two. So the Eagles score a touchdown, and, I'm mad that they're even scoring because I want it to actually look as bad as possible because it should have been close. I was embarrassed. But then it's like, all right, well, if you get a touchdown, kick the extra point, you're down 8. Now you got time. But as I'm thinking that, I'm wondering in my head, all right, the analytics department will tell you that you should go for 2 because then you know what you're dealing with on the back end. So if you don't get the 2-point conversion, you know you're down 9, and you can try an onside kick because you know you need to get it's a 2-possession game instead of 1.
Sure.
So they did exactly what I thought they were going to do. And I was hoping they weren't going to do it, and I was like, no, they're going to go for 2. And if it doesn't make sense to you, it doesn't make sense to you because I understand why the analytic, and a lot of times I roll my eyes at the analytic, but if it's giving you the analytic, it's telling you to do this for a reason. And if you think Nick Sirianni, this was his idea, I got something else to tell you. He's listening to what he's being told to do in situations like this. They're going with the book on when to go for 2 and things like that. Would you agree, Sean?
I agree. Yes, that seems to be the way. And look, I don't want to jump too far ahead in this conversation, but I think, John, my point is there's arguments on both sides. And when somebody tells me that, no, you're wrong, and we're talking about a minuscule of a difference here as far as percentages is concerned. Again, when you start talking about getting an onside kick, you're going to lose that argument no matter what. I understand that you're eventually going to have to go for 2, but when you start to involve an onside kick, look at those percentages, people.
Yes, it pretty much doesn't happen now. It happened in one game, I think, this year. One of them happened this year.
Did you see how tough it was yesterday? I forget, the guy catches it right at the line and unable to get it. So getting an onside kick in the equation, you're already losing me there. Oh, by the way, as crunch time rolls deep, pressure mounts more, you get lemon booty. You know what lemon booty is? When they start to pucker up. Because that's what happens. Yeah, shout out Bomani Jones on that one. For years he's been saying that. But that's what happens in the final couple minutes of a game. Pressure rises. People make mistakes. 8-point game, 1 possession left was not a bad deal to be in.
No, it would have been great. So Greg Olson, he tweets out the following. Fox analyst.
Yeah.
The premise of the 2-point conversion is we've been beaten over the head with the notion being down 8 is a 1-possession game. We need to educate the way the game's played. 7 points is a 1-score game 94% of the time. 8 points is a 1-score game 43% of the time. So in other words, you're getting the 8 points 43% of the time.
Yeah.
You treat 8 points as 2 possessions. So that's what he's saying. It's worth it to go for the 2-point conversion because if you're down 9, that's two possession game. If it's down 8, it's much more of a chance that it's going to be a 2-possession game. And I say to this, BS. And Emmanuel Acho, I believe, he responded to it, and it just makes sense. Think about how it was as a fan when they didn't convert that. Now they're down 9. What's your feeling if they're down 9? Game's over.
It's done.
2-possession game, you're not getting 2 possessions and scoring on both possessions.
Correct.
Game's over. So what do you think it's like to the players on the field that it goes from we're down 8, oh, my God, we got to stop on 3rd down right here. We're down 8, touchdown, 2-point conversion, we go to overtime. You're down 9, even though Greg Olsen had said, what, you're telling me that the defending Super Bowl champions don't play as hard? No, you're not mentally playing as hard because you know the game's over. They played like they were down 2 possessions on defense.
And the opposition, their number one job is to go up against the clock, and that's it. If you're up by 9, you know it's 2 possessions. Like, my only job is to just drain that clock. That's it, number one. And again, I just want to come back.
There's no pressure put on that team to do anything other than don't fumble the ball.
And I know that he put out a stat, which shouldn't shock anybody because, again, what a team has in front of them, it doesn't shock me if they go out, if they punt on 3 and out more times than not when you're up by 9. Again, I don't want to get lost in the weeds. For me, I think it's easy to sit here and say that I could see it from both sides. When you lose me, when you get these analytical nerds out there that tell me to shut up and they don't want to hear it, and Greg Olsen all of a sudden turning into Vince Lombardi, I'm here to educate people. All right, well, you know what? You got J.J. Watt. He knows a thing or two about playing the game. He disagreed with it. There are plenty of people on the other side for you not to sit there and say, shut up, I'm right. That's where you lose.
Here's Olsen. So the argument is the defending Super Bowl champs won't play as hard down 9 as they would play if they were down 8? What about if they were down 7? Hey, Greg, being a former athlete, I thought you would see the perspective of somebody on the field. No, it's human nature being down 9 to not be played. Like, let's say you're down. If you know you get a stop, you get the ball back, you have a chance to tie the game.
Correct.
Like, they're playing 10 out of 10, I'm getting a stop. So what are they doing on 2nd down of a play where they're down 9 points? Are they playing 10 out of 10 or are they playing 8 out of 10? Because you know human nature is that the game's over. You're not playing as hard if you're down 21 points than if you're down 7 points. You're not.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. It's not that difficult to understand.
Last one for me on this conversation, John, is if you're going to tell me that you must go away or play it a certain way every single time because the numbers tell you that, well, you're aware of this Twitter account, 4th Down Decision Bot, right?
Yes.
So you mean to tell me every single time this number comes out and says you should go for it, that's how they operate? It's not.
But see, here's the analytics this isn't blackjack where you play the same way in blackjack all the time.
I feel like that's what they're trying to do, though.
And you don't deviate unless you're counting into the deck because that changes the percentages.
Sure.
So if you're playing blackjack and you have no type of system that you're using, then you should just follow the system where you're getting the best chance to win. If you're counting into a deck, that changes things. You're counting into a deck with football because there's variables that you don't have in blackjack unless you're counting into it and you have more information. You have more information during a game. How is your defense playing? Right? Like, can you expect to get a stop? What's the chances? The Eagles were not getting the ball back and scoring 2 possessions.
No.
They weren't.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's nuts. We didn't even get to play Sirianni talking about it.
He describes it very well under the decision on why he
How
did
long
it.
is it, John? Do we have it?
Yes, it's about 45 seconds.
All right, play it. Okay.
We had to get a 2-point conversion at one point. I've done a lot of studies on that in my notes. Down 9, I'm always going to go for 2 in that scenario. So I followed the plan that, again, I don't try to wing anything in the situational football. That's what I wanted to do. That's in my notes from my studies in the past, and that's what we did. Now, the thought behind it is, you want to know exactly what you need right there. As far as if you go down 7, then obviously it's a 1-score game. If you go down 8, I know it's a 1-score game as well. But yeah, that's what we do in that scenario. I'll always go back and look and reconsider things. Had 3 timeouts there to be able to potentially kick it deep there. We did get it. Obviously, we didn't in that particular case, but at some point you're going to need it, and I always want to know early what I need going forward.
So here's what he said. All right, I'll shorten it for you, Sean.
And that was cleaned up. Nice work by whoever edited that.
Here's what he really said, is that the analytics tell us, for whatever reason, that this is what you do in that situation. And we follow the analytics, and this is what we do. And in that situation where you're down 9, we're going to go for the 2-point conversion. We're not going to go for the extra point. He's got no idea really why they're doing it. He says he's checking his notes.
It's situational football. Again, it comes back to the 4th down decision. You mean to tell me every single time, because the numbers tell you to go for it, you do? No, you don't. No, you do not. So I just feel like I said, there's times that maybe I would say go for 2. In that moment on Black Friday, in that game, no, I wasn't saying go for 2.
They needed to steal that game because they were thoroughly outplayed.
Kick the extra point and hope to God that you could stop them.
But you also put pressure on their offense.
Agreed.
So now the offense is like, oh, bleep. If we don't get a first down here, they're getting the ball back. It changes the way that they call plays. It changes the way that the players play. It does on both sides of the ball.
How about the referee? A 2-point conversion, 10 seconds left in the game. Maybe they call it differently. I don't know.
No, you're right. It puts pressure. It puts pressure on the other team and the officials. Good point, Sean. All right, speaking of Sean Rodman, you know what he's got coming up next? The news at noon.
How about that?
Are you ready, Sean?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Is this I apologize. Is this his first time sitting in with you?
Yes.
Oh.
He was in on Friday. Harry spoke very fondly of you.
I was not in on Friday with Harry. That got changed around. Austin was. I was
2
in.
Fridays ago when I was out.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. Let me finish.
I thought you meant last Friday. Sorry.
No, let me finish, young man. I know that I wasn't working with you on Friday because I worked Friday.
Yeah,
Did you just cut the host off, Sean? Is that what you just did?
Apparently.
Getting ahead of himself. Sean with the news at noon is coming up next. What does he have in store? All right. You know what that means, Sean? I'm going to be even a harsher judge today.
I like it.
All right. You better be ready.
I'll be ready.
News at noon with Sean Rodman. That's coming up next. Don't go anywhere. Middays with Marks.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
No change in the play caller. I'm Sean Rodman, and Nick Sirianni said after the game there will not be a change for the offensive play caller and Kevin Patullo. Jalen Hurts also spoke post-game in his confidence level in Patullo.
Yeah, I got confidence in them. I got confidence in this team. I got confidence in us when we're collaborative. I got a lot of confidence when we have an identity. So I think that's the first thing that we got to establish that we've talked about.
Well, they'll have a couple extra days to find that identity since they haven't found it already. The Eagles will travel to L.A., and they don't play until Monday Night Football against the Chargers. Sixers fell in double overtime to the Hawks. Maxi's 44 points was not enough in the loss, although he did miss 2 crucial free throws late in the first overtime. Sixers are back in action on Tuesday at home against the Wizards. The Flyers finished its 4-game road trip over the weekend, going 3-1, and go for its 4th win in a row tonight, taking on the Penguins at home. You can listen to the game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Pre-game coverage begins at 6:30. This update is brought to you by Macy's Backstage. Macy's Backstage is a whole department inside your Macy's store where you can find so many holiday essentials, all for under $25. Don't wait. Find a location at Macy'sBackstage.com. I'm Sean Rodman on the home of the 76ers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Middays with Marks 97.5, The Fanatic, WPN HD1 Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. Coming up, we're going to do some almost non-sports stuff. We'll have some fun stuff that's coming up as well.
It's a long weekend.
Yeah, I feel like I was on Friday, but still, yeah. No, it's been when my kids didn't have school last week.
Yep, same.
So them going back to school this week, it's like, man, you guys haven't been to school forever.
They get a lot of days off. I don't remember getting as many days off back in the day as they do now.
We started August 24th, so they don't get all of Easter like we did. We would get a week for Easter, but they get a week for Thanksgiving, and then they get 3 days for Easter.
Had my first parent-teacher conference last week. Kelly cried. My wife cried.
Did you go with Kelly?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I didn't know if...
Yeah.
Because my wife doesn't even ask me. She just goes.
Well, it's the first one. I went because it's the first one.
We don't have anybody to watch the kids. Otherwise, nobody's watching the kids.
Gotcha.
So it's like, you can go. I don't really get asked.
Understood.
But, yeah, like I know somebody's going to watch the kids. So, you can go. I talk... during the conference, my one daughter is a listener. He doesn't listen. I don't know if he listens to this show because he's working, but he was a listener to me before. So he's asking, like inside radio questions during the parent-teacher conference.
That's funny. Yeah. Takes a village, John. It takes a village.
It does. All right, let's get to the news at noon.
This city needs its news.
Now, it's time for...
I'd like to be remembered as a good newsman.
The News at Noon.
That's the coolest story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane.
With Ray Dunn.
Alrighty, let's start off with that Cleveland Browns 49ers game. And we're not going to Shedeur Sanders quite yet, but the 49ers receiver, Juwan Jennings, was trash-talking Browns defensive tackle Malik Collins while he was being carted off, and his teammate Shelby Harris had a response for Jennings.
I see why he got punched in the nuts. Like, he says some things that you should not say to another man, ever. But, I don't respect it because you say that, then run behind your O-line. That's some real soft shit. And I want that known. I see exactly why they punched you nuts. I'm surprised nobody punched him in the jaw yet.
Yeah, and I appreciate that because it looked like that you had a cheap shot artist that's punching him in the balls, and he says, no. He's the bad guy, and he deserved it. You don't hear players come out and say that very often, that a guy deserves to be punched in the nuts.
Yeah, that's one of those places where you don't necessarily go, especially spitting, too. We saw that happening a few times this year already. I feel like those are the two things you just don't do, and if somebody does do it, then that means something went over the line. That's for damn sure.
Or that's a bad dude.
Yes.
Or he's so frustrated that... Because, honestly, I'd rather be spit on than punched hard in the balls.
Oh, man. I'm going to go the other way. Yeah, don't spit on me.
Well, I don't want to be spit on, but at least you could just wipe it off. Even if it was a Luger, unless it got in my mouth, I don't want to be punched in the balls. Sean Rodman, spit on or punched in the nuts?
What would I rather?
Yeah.
Punched in the nuts.
Yeah,
I've been spit on.
I'll take the shot in the groin. You've been spit on.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I didn't do anything. I played soccer growing up, and we traveled over to Spain to play, and we played a team. We beat them, and they spit on us after the game.
Spaniard. How good are you if you're playing soccer? At what age?
It's probably like 14, 15.
In Spain.
I would say you'd have to be pretty good.
Is that by Royersford? Is that where Spain is?
It's north of that.
Close.
North of that.
Okay.
Or west of that.
All right.
So have you been punched in the balls before?
Yeah, I've been punched in the balls before.
No, I don't think you have.
I mean, kicked, yeah.
Right, but you had a cup on.
No.
What I'm saying is, has somebody ever come up and punched you in the balls? Not you've been hit playing sports, punched in the balls.
No.
My daughter's kicked me in the balls before.
Oh man.
And it hurt it hurt more than any. I'm telling you.
Drop you down.
Spit on me all day. If I did a Twitter poll on the show, that'd be the question.
That's a drop.
Yep.
That's definitely a drop.
All right, we're going to stick with this game. Shedeur Sanders
Get me into Jimmy.
has gotten a lot of flack for his character, but I have to give him credit for this one. Lately, his responses to questions at the podium. Here is what he was asked about going for it on fourth down, and he made sure he showed support to his head coach.
What did you see on those 4th and 1, those 2 4th and 1s that didn't work? And did you like Kevin having the aggressiveness there, even backed up in your territory?
I mean, first, that's a rude question to ask. If I think, it was a great call by my coach,
Do you like the aggression? Not do you like the call, but do you like...
I like being out there playing.
Good answer.
So whatever that comes with, it comes with, you know, we not gonna be here and ever point finger at no coach or do anything like that.
Yeah, he got it wrong, number one. I think the question was okay.
Of course it is.
The aggression, so he's in his own mind.
It wasn't rude,
No,
but
no.
having his coach's back isn't a bad thing, but it's not rude.
You know, it's tough. Like, I want to pull for Shador, and then he gets in front of a microphone, and I'm just like, whatever. 16 to 25, 149. He plays for the Browns.
Well, they had the first touchdown of the game and the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
Sean Rodman liked what he said. So what he would. So you
I
felt
just like
you
that he
liked
stuck
it?
up for his coach necessarily because he you've heard that Shador didn't get any reps with the first team at all when he was the second team a couple weeks ago.
And there's a lot going on when he talks.
And you hear him talk a bunch.
Me.
So here's where I'm at. A lot of what Sean's saying right there, but I almost don't want to criticize him because the other side of it's so stupid. I heard people this morning. I was listening to, I forget what I was listening to, and they were saying, well, he didn't even have a good game, and he's a 5th-round draft pick rookie on a bad team
for the Browns.
What did you think he was going to look like out there? He was fine yesterday. They're not beating the Niners. He was fine. He wasn't good.
Oh, by the way, 35-mile-per-hour winds too. He
was fine yesterday. I don't know who was expecting him to come in and will the Browns to win over the Niners. It's stupid.
He was.
Yeah, maybe he thought he was going to do it.
Well, he got reps with the first team this week in practice.
Yeah, that's
You wait till next week.
Yeah, wait till next week. Might have to wait another week.
Sky's the limit.
Lane Kiffin, well, he's going to LSU. Everyone knows that by now, leaving Ole Miss. He had people going to his house and harassing him and his family. But Lane Kiffin leaving Ole Miss for LSU, it's safe to say that reaction's not been very good. But he was met on the tarmac from ESPN's Marty Smith in what seems like a little damage control.
That this was a very challenging, difficult day. We went through a lot last night with Keith Carter trying to figure out a way, to make this playoff, run work and be able to coach the team. And at the end of the day, that's his decision. And I totally respect that. I understand that decision. And, so I just totally wish the team the best of luck. Wish that I was coaching, but understand that it was a very challenging position for him and the chancellor to be in.
All right, so let's do this, all right? Because Sean and I both want to talk about it, so let's do it coming up next because we're already short on time in this segment.
Love it.
So we'll have a nice longer segment coming up here to do it. Lane Kiffin goes to LSU. He immediately has to leave the program. His team that is Ole Miss that is going to be a relatively high seed and is going to have a home playoff game in the college football playoff, and he's leaving to go to a rival, to a conference rival. We'll discuss your thoughts on that if you want to get involved in the conversation on the text line, 610-632-0975, or on the phone line, 610-632-0975. Football Mondays brought to you by Pierce Phelps Bryant Heating and AC. They're the local Bryant home comfort team. Visit nopayBryant.com to keep your HVAC in the starting lineup. Back after this with the Kiffin Conversation, 97.5 The Fanatic.
John Kincade, Andrew Salciunas, and
thank God it's...
All right, we're back middays with Marks and Sean Brace. Sean Rodman in for Ray Dunn, who returns tomorrow. The decision, Sean, was supposed to be announced on Saturday. That did not happen. It came and went. Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss, they beat Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl on Friday. Mm-hmm. He's supposed to have conversations, and then he's supposed to decide, am I going to LSU or am I staying at Ole Miss? I would have bet the ranch that he was leaving to go to LSU, but I was still holding out hope that he stayed. And he stayed with his team and said, you know what? It's not about going to the biggest program. It's not about the most money. It's not about whatever else. I'm happy here. And I got a good thing going on, and why would I leave to go to LSU? Well, he announced on Sunday he was leaving to go to LSU, and it was no surprise to me. But, also disappointed. Disappointed that he was doing it because, maybe he wouldn't have been able to sustain that at Ole Miss. Maybe he would have been able to. And maybe, anybody would have looked at him and thought, I don't remember him being left on the tarmac when they fired him from the Raiders or being at Tennessee for 1 year. This is what I'm going to remember Lane Kiffin as. And instead, you're going to remain him up. See that? Got the team to the college football playoff and left because he was going to LSU.
And not only did he leave, he's taken multiple coaches with them, strength and conditioning,
12
coordinators.
coaches?
Yeah, something I believe that's the number, offensive coordinator. So now you have a team. Ole Miss doesn't compete for national championships, and here they are. They have a legit chance to win it all this year. And Lane Kiffin is leaving them at the utmost worst possible time. And, oh, by the way, the money is about the same, I believe. I think the numbers have been reported. It's similar, correct. The NIL, everything has changed in that category. So I think it comes down to what type of money they have to spend, and I'm sure LSU has a little bit more. You just look at it's $200 million just to get him in with his staff at LSU. They're dropping.
You know what it's about, Sean? It's LSU.
Correct.
That's it.
A place that has won 3 national championships already in the history. It's got a little bit more easier of a pipeline to recruit, so on and so forth. But it doesn't mean
it's one of the, is it the biggest job in the country?
No, definitely not.
What would be bigger? Alabama?
Alabama's up there for
not
me.
many.
No, you're right. Not many. No, LSU. And look, he called Saban, and I'm sure Saban told him,
Pete Carroll,
it's not even a question. Go to LSU. But again, the whole woe is me. I'm praying. I need to talk to
they're always
God.
praying. All the SEC coaches are always praying.
And Ole Miss should have fired him before the Egg Bowl. That's what should have happened. But here he was trying to wait it out, trying to get the best of both worlds, and now he wants to come off like the victim. And, oh, by the way, he touched down. He's already recruiting. He's already posting.
They said 2 planes, not 1.
Tweets. He's trolling already. We know who Lane Kiffin is.
He went full Lane Kiffin when he took the job.
Yep.
Full.
Yep.
I'm the victim, like you were saying, the praying, two. They sent LSU sent two planes because he took everybody on the staff too. He's immediately he's doing what he's got to do to win at LSU. I get it. Think about if he would have said, you know what, my family likes it here. I like it here. We're staying, and maybe they suck next year, and it ends up like that was his opportunity. But still, that's the story I was looking for. I wasn't looking for this story. I was looking for him to stay, coach in the playoffs, win a game in the playoffs, and see what happens.
Nothing better than college football, John. The anarchy that he has brought to the table, it's hysterical. Like you brought up with the tarmac that Sean played that sound. The other side note is there's a podcaster from Ole Miss who said the line from a rap show that you can't turn a hoe.
He called him a hoe.
He can't turn a hoe into a housewife. It's the lyric that he quoted.
From Dr. Dre.
And it is perfect. I've heard it was Ludacris, it was Project Pat, now Dr. Dre. Everybody's been saying that line.
Dr. Dre, I'm trying to go through the song to think what song it was.
I'm with you on that one. I thought that somebody else did say it as well, but it is a bar, as the kids like to say. Anyways, so the kid says it on the podcast. After the Egg Bowl, Lane seeks this guy out and confronts him. When, oh, by the way, the kid was right. It's a spot-on analogy. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Lane Kiffin is a hoe. You knew eventually Lane Kiffin was going to turn into Lane Kiffin.
Yep.
And here it is, 6 years later. Ole Miss should be grateful what they were able to build. And I'll tell you what, it's the number one storyline, John, and I'm rooting for them. I hope that they're able to get over this and potentially have a shot at winning a national championship because it would be far away the best storyline in college football.
They're not.
No, they're not.
They're going to lose, and then the program's going to suck again. Because he's lost all the good coaches and he's going to lose a lot of the recruits.
True.
And their defensive coordinator that they've already elevated, he's the new head coach.
He's a nice guy.
He'll be gone in 2 years.
He's a nice guy.
And it sucks because it was fun. And him going to LSU's not fun, not for me. I wanted him to stay.
I agree.
And here's the other thing, and this bothered me a lot because, honestly, the whole system is broken. You shouldn't be allowed to leave your team. These other universities shouldn't be allowed to be having contract negotiations with you, just like in any professional sports, and that's professional sports now. You can't tamper with another. Do you imagine the Eagles going to Sean McVay right now and openly offering them a contract, and he just leaves without compensation? How does that happen? It's set up for him to have to take the job. Or here's what he could have said, and this is why it pisses me off. Because he put out there, he was pleading with them to allow him to coach the team.
Sure.
And I'm sure he wanted to do it. Then you know what you do, Lane? You say, hey, LSU, I'm not going to tell you I'm not interested because I am. But I'm not going to have any more conversations. You want to talk to my agent or something.
Yeah.
But I'm not accepting any jobs and I'm not having any more conversations until the season's over. Period. I believe that's what Brian Hartline's doing with Penn State. I think he's going to be the head coach at Penn State because Penn State's not in on any of these coaches. You don't hear him connected with anybody.
Yeah, we don't hear.
Because Hartline probably said, I'm trying to win another national championship. I got you. You give him the wink. You're interested in me? I'm interested in you. And that's that. Why couldn't he have done that? Would LSU have said, fine, we're moving on if he would have given listen, let me finish the year, okay? Do you know what I'm saying? I'm shaking my head at you. Let me finish the year, please. And that's it. But they weren't going to do that.
If you're willing to back the Brinks truck up for $200 million plus to get him and his staff, yeah, I think you could have waited just a little bit longer. But you're right about the calendar. The calendar is the issue. So the people who behind college football who set this calendar up, that's
they
where
can't leave until after the season's over.
They got to change it. You have to change it. It's not fair.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
And Lane, and what bothered me because he said, I get it. Well, you really don't because you're complaining about it.
Correct.
He's saying the athletic director and the chancellor should have let him finish out the season.
Yeah, right.
Dude, give me a break. There's over my dead body would he have coached. He'd be gone. His key card would be done. After you're leaving for LSU, dude, give me a break. You want to coach your team? I bet you do. Then don't accept another job. Give me a break. Seriously, bro, you know how it works. When you leave, and you take it on the chin. Don't be blaming the AD and the chancellor for not letting him finish the season.
I am hopeful that karma is a real thing because if it is, then he's going to struggle at LSU, and it's going to be some troublesome times coming his way. Brian Kelly thought he was going to win a national championship. It's not as easy. Lane is a pretty damn good offensive mind. I will credit him on that.
He's not winning anything at LSU. What happens is he's never seen pressure like this.
I hope you're right.
He's never seen pressure like this. He's failed at all his other stops.
Sports are better when they have a villain. And Lane Kiffin is the villain in college football.
No, he's great for that.
Yep.
I agree. So I'll be rooting against LSU. Uncle Jamie, I got 2 minutes for you. He's a big LSU fan.
Get out of here.
I'm curious Uncle Jamie 3-0 in his picks this weekend. What's up, Uncle?
3-0, big pick victories this past
on-air
weekend.
picks too. He was on the air doing it. Yep.
What's that?
No, I said on the air. You said him on the air too. So this wasn't some fugazi.
Absolutely. So the first thing on this Kiffin narrative is that Old Miss controlled the narrative. They went to Kiffin and said, "Listen, we know LSU is sitting in your back pocket. You have to make a decision now." He pushed them to push it off at least until the Egg Bowl was over, but they pressed him to say yes or no. So that's why the calendar is the true evil here, and that the calendar, they should not be allowed to tamper.
You take it out of their hands. You take it out of their hands.
Yeah,
he's got to do it.
Exactly. The Hardline situation is a little bit different because he's an OC. You know that Pat Kraft has whispered to him. He's whispered back. Ohio State, he's an OC. He's not the head coach. So
right.
They're going to let him coach it through. And at the end of it, when they win the national championship, which is probably what's going to happen again with Ohio State, he'll walk off and take the Penn State job.
Yep.
Why does Kiffin go to LSU? If you look at the last 3 years at Ole Miss, he put together those teams through the transfer portal. He lucked out with Trinidad Chambliss this year, a Division II quarterback, run him in. Say what you will about Kiffin. He turned that kid into a player this year.
Oh, yeah.
But he filled 80% of his roster through the portal. When you go to LSU, you don't need the portal, man. You need the portal to fill a couple spots here and there. The recruit for
it's tough to sustain that at Ole Miss.
I believe LSU had the most players through the portal this year with Brian Kelly, if I'm not mistaken, in this offseason. That's why I thought they were going to have a better year than they did. But still, you're not wrong comparing Ole Miss to LSU, but I still think the portal is a heavy in play at LSU as well.
That's where you can call Brian Kelly, Sean. You're 100% right, is that he relied on the portal. You don't need to rely on the portal. Look at Kirby Smart, Georgia. Look at Alabama. They don't rely on the portal. You know, it's natural recruiting hubs down there. So you can get your natural talent. I think Lane Kiffin sees that. Plus, you know, you're walking into the $12 million. And one thing real quick, I don't know if you guys actually watched the video of the interview with Marty Smith, but his body language, Lane Kiffin's, was he did not help himself in the PR narrative in his body language. It was ridiculous. John is right on it, man. He doomed himself in that interview. So I'll let you guys get the break.
Nice work.
All right, Uncle Jamie.
Yeah, no, you're right about that.
No, when he was talking about, and I'm not a religious person, but when he's talking about the praying and all this other stuff, like, shut up, you and Jimmy Swaggart.
I wish and I hate to say it like this because I lost my father too. So but he's just so smug and arrogant that like I can't get behind him. He's like, I wish my father was here so I could talk to him. Oh, by the way, Monty Kiffin had coached 20 different teams, so I think we know what Monty would have said. It's just, look, he could have handled it better. He made his decision. I have no issue with Ole Miss going, you know what, we're not playing second fiddle. We're not doing that. If you want to be here, you're here. If not, then go.
All right, coming up, we're going to get our first opportunity to talk ourselves into the everything's all okay with the Eagles, and they're going to be fine. And I'll do it with the schedule. That is coming up after this. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Eagles offense struggles again. I'm Sean Rodman, and this update is brought to you by Morgan Stern Hair Restorations. Great teams stick together, and so does great hair. Morgan Stern Hair Restoration. Championship results, visit morgansternhair.com or call 610-980-4000. And the Eagles had 4 3-and-outs on Friday, along with 2 turnovers on offense. Nick Sirianni was asked after the game if there would be a change with the offensive play caller.
No, we're not changing the play caller. But we will evaluate everything, and that's what this weekend we'll have another little mini bye, and I think that's another short week. Another short week that leads to a long weekend where we'll evaluate everything.
The Eagles do have a couple extra days to reevaluate everything, and they head to L.A. next week to take on the Chargers on Monday night. The Flyers go for its 4th win in a row tonight, taking on the Penguins at home. You can listen to the game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Pre-game coverage begins at 6:30, and this update is brought to you by the Electrical Workers 269 and the Electrical Training Alliance. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 269, NECA, and the Electrical Training Alliance can offer a career with no college debt. To learn more, go to IBEW269.com. I'm Sean Rodman on the home of the 76ers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
right, put this one on the board, Sean. Identify it.
Right.
Get a little bit higher on the hotkey.
Right.
Is that Dan Schwartzman?
Right.
Yes. Right.
Right.
Dan. What has Dan been up to, man? I haven't seen him.
He
in a
works for
minute.
Bloomberg News.
Does he really?
Doing radio. Yeah, I think they might be based in Jersey. For people that know, he's an old host at the station. Dan, I always loved working with Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's working for Bloomberg. Well, I know he's working for Bloomberg. I think it's in Jersey.
He was doing when the draft was here. I ran into him because he was doing a show with Amani Toomer.
For NBC Sports.
That's like the last time I've seen Dan. No, I've definitely interacted with him via LinkedIn, I think. If I'm not mistaken, we're both open a network at one point in time.
I bet.
But yes, Dan, great dude. Right.
Right. All right. So you want to try it? You don't have to agree to it, but I want to know if after we talk about this, we feel better about the season not being over.
Oh.
And everything going to be fine.
Hit me, Johnny. Hit.
All right. And Sean Rodman, I need your help on this too.
Okay.
So if you look at the Eagles schedule for the rest of the season, they have the second easiest schedule going down the stretch. So all you have to do is make the case that all this team needs is a little bit of confidence to get the ball rolling, and then anything can change. And so I think that's the best argument is that as it looks right now, of course everybody agrees that this team's cooked. But if you get a good game where Jalen plays with some confidence and guys are like, you know what? Nah, man, like we're out of this funk. Let's go. Maybe they make a change in the play caller. Maybe Petula goes upstairs. Maybe Sirianni takes over. Who knows, right? So next Monday at the Chargers maybe without Justin Herbert, he broke his hand. Non-throwing
hand.
But he still broke it.
I think he's getting surgery right now as we speak on the West Coast, and he says he's going to play.
He said that.
Yeah.
Now we'll see, but he's talking about playing. Maybe you put a cast on it. They don't line up under center a lot anyway. So.
Well, Rodgers had the same deal. He missed like 2 games, and
he can't line up under center.
No, yeah.
All right. So how do you feel about next week?
For the purpose of this.
Well, I mean, just that you don't have to give it. I'm not asking for a prediction. Just how do you feel?
I don't feel good. No. For the purpose of this exercise, I'm trying to get on board. I'm trying to buy, but against the Chargers, no, I don't feel good. I think that this is a big ask for them to go out there and find a way to win a game.
They're favored by 3 points.
Yeah, that's
an Eagles line.
They were favored by 7.5 against the Bears too.
The same thing happened in 2023. Vegas kept putting these big lines out there, saying, "No, the Eagles are going to snap out of this," and they never did.
People got rich betting against the Eagles.
Sean Rodman, how do you feel about this team right now? Do you feel not as bad as we do?
I mean, I'm definitely not great. I still think maybe they could go 3-2. Looking at the schedule, especially if Trey Lance starts at quarterback. But if Justin Herbert's playing, I don't feel good.
If you get 3, you win the division, and you're at least you're a 3 seed.
Yeah,
agreed.
The one thing though we haven't really mentioned, I know we'll get probably more in the weeds this on Monday next week and later in the week, but they lost both their starting tackles that started the year. I know they traded for one as well, but that could be a get right game for that defense. Not that they.
You talking about the Chargers?
The Eagles defense because the Chargers offensive line.
Right, and Becton's about to get cut. He's that bad.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
I love a good get-right spot in Week 14 or whatever it is.
How many weeks are we doing the get-right game?
And then they get the Raiders at home after that.
It's a get-right season. That's what it is.
So, if they lose to the Raiders, I just won't talk. I won't even talk about it. I'll just come in and start talking about Embiid.
If they lose to the Raiders, I think somebody's getting fired.
Someone's losing their job.
Yeah.
If they lose to the Raiders.
Yeah.
So, all right, so they need, let's just say they're losing to the Bills. That's a road game. The Bills also can lose anybody too.
And the Bills are playing for a lot.
Right.
That's a tough spot.
That's a tough spot for the Eagles. Let's just assume they're going to lose that. So between the Chargers, Raiders at home against the Commanders, away against the Commanders. It's in reverse order because they go to the Commanders first. But of those 4 games, can they win 3? 3's going to win you the division. That gives you 11. 2 may even win you the division, depending on what happens with the Cowboys. But can they get to 11? I don't believe they can get to 11.
No, I don't have them getting to 11 either.
I think they win 10.
Yeah, 10's the number.
And then you're limping in, and if you're there, it's only because you had stacked wins early in the season. And it doesn't matter.
And then now you're going to be faced with the conversation of these are teams that they will be playing who they already beat.
Right.
And the issue is I just cannot, like if the Eagles and the Lions were to play tomorrow at Lincoln Financial Field, I don't think I'm taking, as bad as Goff is outside, I don't think I'm taking the Eagles.
So here's my question, because Brandon Lee Gowton, Bleeding Green Nation, he put it up with the Bears and the Rams schedule. So he's not talking about can the Eagles hang on to win the division. He's saying can they still be the number one seed. My head is how are they going to blow the season?
Yeah,
I'm worried about the Cowboys running the table and the Eagles losing. I'm not looking at the number one seed anymore. Because if you felt good about the team, you could easily make the case that they're not out. I mean, they're right there for the number one seed. The Rams losing was huge. And the Bears have a really tough schedule coming up. The Packers twice and the Lions.
Yeah, the Cowboys are on Thursday night against the Lions, and they got Vikings, Chargers, Commanders. I don't know. I'm not really all that worried about the division. I would be shocked if the Eagles did not win this division. Absolutely shocked.
You'd be shocked.
Shocked. Is
that because the Eagles have enough to stave them off?
Yes. I eliminated the Cowboys a couple weeks ago, so here I am.
No, but do you believe it's because the Eagles will win games they need to?
Yes, I think they'll beat the Commanders maybe 2 times. I think they could beat the Commanders. Definitely split with them. The Raiders, they are going to win that football game there. Yeah, and it's just too much of an ask for the Cowboys to continue on their winning ways. I know that they've been playing some great football, winning 3 straight, but I think this is a tough spot on the road at Detroit on Thursday night.
Detroit 3-point favorites. It's a semi-Cowboy line, or it's a straight down the middle line.
Interesting.
Yep.
Very interesting.
The Eagles are 3-point favorites on the road, and I think it was going to be like that with Herbert or without.
I think it was 1.5, but you're right. Maybe this is probably,
it affected it a little bit.
Yeah, maybe this is saying that Herbert isn't going to play,
or they're really unsure, and because if he's out and it's Trey Lance, that's going to go up to 5, right? Trey Lance is pretty brutal.
Eagles have been just as brutal, though.
They have. They have. I think more than anything for me, the game on Friday, I was most disappointed in the defense. And all the Patullo, Jalen Hurts, and all that stuff, and I get it, and that's a big part of the problem. I saw a total team, including the defense, that didn't want to be there on Friday. They got dominated.
281 rushing yards at home, and for a team that we're talking about a Super Bowl contender, I think that's got to go out the window. They're not a super. If you're going to give up 281 yards, oh, by the way, what just took place a week before, where you blew a 21-point lead against the Dallas bleeping Cowboys, this team is not a Super Bowl contender. One and done right now, John. One and done at best.
I would agree. All right, coming up, Joe, if you want to hang tight, I'll get you on the other side, 610-632-0975. We're also going to do How About That? That's coming up next, Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, Middays with Marks, 97.5, The Fanatic coming up. How about that?
How about that?
And that is we play a couple of sound clips from around the NFL. It's our way to talk a little bit about some of the more interesting things in the NFL. So that's coming up in a second, but I do want to hear what Joe has to say. Joe in Gilbertsville says he feels bad for Jalen Hurts.
Interesting. Okay.
Let's hear what he has to say. Joe, go ahead. How are you?
Hey, first time, long time, Johnny Marks. How you been, man?
What's up, buddy? I appreciate you calling.
Living the dream. Just living the dream.
Cool.
Listen, 2 out of the last 3 years, this team's fallen apart, right? If it wasn't for the offensive line going in there on the bye week, last year doesn't happen either. So, at a dominant offensive line, play with a lot of energy, a lot of aggression, and a lot of what Saquon did, and the RPO, and the dynamic of using legs with Hurts and Saquon, really saved last season after the flop of Kellen Moore's offensive passing.
Yep.
Started off 2-2. So Nick Sirianni's done nothing the last 3 seasons. None. Except be the CEO, pretty much. It's his playbook, too. Jalen Hurts as a quarterback has not evolved in the NFL. He's never had a head coach sit there and help him improve, or an offensive coordinator consistently help him improve. So he's done this a lot on his own with his legs and RPO, which is what he's best at, college and NFL. So when you look at the Eagles' locker room demise, where is the brainstorming? Where is the game planning? Where is the sense of we have to counter of what other teams are doing? And it's every season, week after week after week, that it's laid at the hands of a quarterback who's not evolved. And I love Jalen Hurts because he's done a lot on his own in his entire career, being short, not having the greatest arm strength. There's no one been there for him to help him evolve. I never see Sirianni talking to him on the sidelines, ever, about what can we do during this game that we're in right now that we're sputtering, or the OC, but that doesn't matter because it's Sirianni's playbook. So when you have a lot of turmoil in the locker room, there's a lot of things involved. The offensive line is not dominant. They can't do RPO because Jalen's concussion. He's not going to want to run it nearly as much.
Yep.
So now you're sitting him as a pocket quarterback at 6 foot, 6'1" at most, not being able to see the middle of the field, not the greatest going through progressions, but you continue to run an offense that's not suited for him. No wonder AJ is complaining. No wonder there's a lot of demise in that Eagles team, that the head coach does not have answers. 3 straight years, the O-line had to have the answer 2 years ago to save that season. So for me, if this doesn't get fixed this week, and I know they're not going to fire anybody, the only thing that I would do after this season, because Hurts ain't going nowhere with his contract, and you got to get the most out of him.
Yep.
The person that I want to see in here as the head coach and the OC who helped Rich Gannon's career, because it's the same passing scheme, would help Derek Carr's career with short, intermediate passing, running the West Coast, slight RPO, rolling the quarterback out. I would love to see John Gruden here who can help Hurts evolve as a quarterback because no one else has in 6 years of him being a quarterback.
Joe, I'd love to see it. I don't think Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie would love to see it.
Give me a Spider 2Y banana for old time's sake, please.
A lot of you can do the RPO for a couple of weeks, and then there's adjustments made, so that can't be your offense. We saw Nick Foles in the Super Bowl in the playoff run, the RPO, they reinstalled it. It worked. They tried it again the next year. Teams were like, nah, we figured out how to stop that. Same thing with Jalen. It's just now what do you go to? And one thing I disagree with Joe on is that they're actually running the Jalen Hurts offense. Everybody thinks that this is Patullo's offense. It's Nick Sirianni's offense with Jalen Hurts as his quarterback.
You would like to believe so, yeah.
This is what it is.
Yeah.
He hasn't progressed into more of a pro-style passer. It's just crazy because in the biggest games that we've ever watched, he's the best player on the field.
No, you commented about Sean, who called in earlier with his article, and I couldn't agree more with you because, there's moments where I just want to stand up and I'm like, dude, Jalen Hurts is a badass. That is a hell of a player. Unbelievable quarterback. But then he gives you that result on Friday, and it was ugly. It was like his ball was fluttering, no confidence whatsoever. And if he doesn't want to go out there and make plays with his legs, this is a desperate moment right now in this season. Things have to change. And if he's not willing to run those plays, then it needs to be said. It needs to be out there.
And Joe brought up the concussion. That's the reason.
Sure, understood.
He's the quarterback. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to become a tomato can out there getting crushed every time they're out on offense.
I think he does it better than most, getting down and not
Very
taking that
smart with
contact. Yeah, because of what took place. But we know it opens up things for Saquon Barkley for the run game. Of course, plays downfield if Jalen is able to make plays with his legs. Oh, by the way, what you touched on earlier, just get him outside the pocket.
Put some pressure on the defense that maybe he is going to run.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get back to Jalen Hurts, but it's time for How About That?
When you see something great.
How about that?
When you see something you hate.
How about that?
When you see something you just need to tell someone about, hit them with a.
How about that?
Well, how about that? The Steelers lose yesterday to the Bills. The offense was pathetic. Aaron Rodgers took a shot, too. He was bleeding out of his nose.
Yeah, saw that.
Mason Rudolph had to come in. Steelers lose. I have a friend who's in our fantasy league that is a Steeler fan. He's from Pittsburgh. He was at the game yesterday for his birthday. And he's still doing the we can win the Super Bowl. And he really believes it.
Ooh, how about that?
And this is every year. He's like, no, the defense can win. And we're all saying on the thread, because it's mostly Eagles fans, hey, the Eagles aren't winning anything and we know it. Like, how come you just can't admit your team's not winning? They haven't won a playoff game in 10 years. But even he can't admit it. Anyway, here's Aaron Rodgers. He's kind of calling out his receivers after the game.
Oh, yeah. When there's film sessions, everybody shows up. And when I check through a route, you do the right route, you know? Like, John and I just weren't on the same page. I checked to his in-breaker, and he ran out-breaker. You know, John is a true professional, so I'm sure he's sick about that.
Rod, you know what you're getting with him. Eventually, he's going to turn into this. He's too old to be a Super Bowl champion, to be an MVP-type quarterback. He has his moments, no doubt about it, but when things aren't going well, he is eventually going to give you exactly that, throwing people underneath the bus. Look, he might be right, but that doesn't need to be said right there, and he knows better.
Yeah, he also hasn't been like he's been for being 40 whatever. He's been fine. I don't know what people's expectations were. The MVP Rodgers, that's over.
Oh, it's done. It's a long time.
He's not Tom Brady.
No, he's better than Mason Rudolph, no doubt. But at the end of the day, to get this team to take another step up from where they were last year with Russell Wilson, I just never saw it.
No, and maybe they make the playoffs. They're not winning 2 playoff games.
No.
I don't think they're winning 1. They're definitely not winning 2 playoff games.
How about the crowd chanting "Fire Mike Tomlin"? Though that's new.
It's over.
You think he's out?
I think they trade him
to
Arizona
or the New York Giants.
Giants would be a perfect.
Ooh, man.
Yeah, he'll be good where he goes because he's a good coach. But it's time they need something different in Pittsburgh.
I think it's time as well. Yeah.
Darius Slay, also a healthy scratch for the Steelers.
How about that,
Inactive.
John Marks?
As Ray would say, how about that?
How about that?
All right.
Ray's very popular in the YouTube chat. A lot of people love Ray.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
Even the ladies.
The ladies in particular.
Ladies love Ray.
Especially the golden Cougars. Women over 55, apparently, Ray, very popular.
Hello.
All right, what else do we have here? What's the next one we were doing there, Sean or Sean? Treylon Burks. So if you didn't catch the game last night, Treylon Burks, who was a wasted first-round draft pick by the Titans in the A.J. Brown era when they traded him, he got picked up off the scrap heap by Washington. I don't know how he's done as a whole in Washington.
I can't imagine that well.
But he had a hell of a catch last night. Is this the actuality? Here's Burks last night.
Mariota to the back. Oh, he caught it! Burks! Unbelievable touchdown!
Mike Tirico, great call as always, John. Yeah, he hasn't been ripping up 3 games, 5 catches, including that one you just heard last night. I do want to point out, though, I felt like they brought it up multiple times. He was brought in to replace A.J. Brown, and he failed. He was terrible. They kept on dragging my man through the mud after that type of catch. But, it was pretty close.
Yeah, isn't it bad enough you suck and you have to be compared to A.J. Brown? By the way, they picked him over A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown won a Super Bowl.
18th overall out of Arkansas, first-round selection.
I remember him, but he caught it with his right arm, and he was, sprawled out almost like in the back of the end zone, in the corner of the end zone.
You know,
catch.
I'm down with it. I am fine with it because I like more points. I like offense. But, John, we need an asterisk. Ever since they were able to start using these gloves, everything has changed.
They can catch everything with one
Odell
hand.
Beckham.
Puka Nacua had one yesterday, too.
Yeah,
It's
those
crazy.
gloves are so tacky that I feel, and I'm fine with it because it's more yards, more points, and
So's
more
the
catches
NFL.
like that. Yeah, exactly.
Last one, I was not expecting the Detroit Vikings game, the halftime show. Normally, who was in the previous year, you said?
Oh, it was Jack Harlow.
Not as good?
A little bit different this year.
How about Eminem and Jack White? Here's Eminem from the halftime show.
Detroit's own Eminem.
Was he really rapping? Background? He's really rapping.
Yeah, I think
he
those-
sounded great.
Yeah, that was really good. You know, as far as halftime shows for Thanksgiving, you think of Creed. There's not really a lot of memorable performances. That one absolutely is top notch.
I think Sugar Ray minus the singer. They just had Sugar Ray.
Look, you know, Detroit, first of all, Jack White never does stuff like that. So that's number one, getting him out there.
It was really cool.
Yeah, man. And then they went into Seven Nation Army. Is that the name of it? Whoa.
Yeah, the White Stripes. Exact words. You must have been looking at the lyrics.
That's it.
Coming up.
That's Jock Jam's album 36, I believe.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
They still make them on CD?
You know what? It's a good question. Jock Jams should be one of those albums that continues to roll on as long as they're putting out music.
Now that's music volume 137?
Sounds about right.
I got Kids Bop. 610-632-097. I went to a Kids Bop concert.
No.
Oh, yeah, I did.
You know what I was locked in this weekend? You know how our kids just get locked on any shows?
Yeah.
Is it cake?
Yeah, we've been down that road.
It's cake!
It's
5! It's cake!
I can usually tell which one's cake.
It's cake!
But then there's the time where it's like, wow, that's not cake.
Whoa!
Yeah.
It's not cake.
Coming up at phone calls and everything else, Middays the Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
No change with the play caller. I'm Sean Rodman, and Nick Sirianni said after the game there will not be a change for the offensive play caller in Kevin Patullo. Jalen Hurts also spoke post-game in his confidence level in Patullo.
Yeah, I got confidence in him. I got confidence in this team. I got confidence in us when we're collaborative. I got a lot of confidence when we have an identity. So I think that's the first thing that we got to establish that we've talked about.
Well, they'll have a few extra days heading into next week to find that identity. Heading to L.A. next week to take on the Chargers on Monday Night Football. The Sixers fell in double overtime yesterday to the Atlanta Hawks. Maxey had 44 points, but it wasn't enough in the loss. He did miss 2 crucial free throws late in the first overtime. Sixers are back in action on Tuesday at home against the Wizards. Flyers finish up its 4-game road trip over the weekend, going 3-1, and go for its 4th win in a row tonight, taking on the Penguins at home. You can listen to the game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Pre-game coverage begins at 6:30. This update is brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone, AutoZone. I'm Sean Rodman on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
WPEN, HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia. Beasley Media Group station broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. The 12 o'clock hour of the show has been brought to you by Service First HVAC, offering 0% financing for 48 months, rebates and tax credits up to $4,300 when purchasing a heating and cooling system. Learn more at ServiceFirstHVAC.com. There we go. We got a phone call coming up here in a second. I want you to notice how I'm carefully talking about this, Sean.
Okay.
Did you have? I'm assuming you have an elf on the shelf in your house with your two kids.
Day one.
Okay, so our elves arrive every year the day after Thanksgiving.
Oh, so you're in. Okay. Yep.
So
understood.
Thanksgiving night, we hosted Thanksgiving, so we had a ton of people over the house. We're done cleaning up or whatever, and I sit back on the couch. I'm like, oh yeah, finally. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh my God, the elves are about to arrive, which means for the next how many days?
Yep.
Creative ideas need to be done. I mean, the elves come up with creative ideas.
Oh yeah.
For how they position themselves. So we have two elves because I have three kids. So the second one arrives with Bella, and the elves are causing a major problem, Sean.
Oh, they are. What's going on with these naughty elves?
The elves on December 1st bring an advent calendar. And the kids know this because my wife has informed them that that's normally what happens. So at 4 o'clock this morning, the kids are awake. I want to go downstairs.
Uh-oh.
No!
Uh-oh.
Lena, go back to bed. I can't sleep. Lena, go back. I can't sleep. I'm already awake because my daughter, my 4-year-old, is awake. She wants to go downstairs. So they've been up since 4 o'clock this morning. And then my oldest daughter, not because of the elves, she just, I don't know if she had a bad dream or something. I was laying in her bed at from 1:30 to 2:15.
Okay.
So the kids, everybody was downstairs before 6 o'clock. Elf fever. No, I mean, I'm telling you, because it's still relatively new, these damn kids are excited to see what they got in the advent calendar and whatever other goodies the elves brought. Because that's where they were positioned this morning. The night before, they had a straw and 2 marshmallows, and they were lifting weights next to my weights in the basement. Those naughty elves.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's the funny stuff that we do. Yeah, we just rolled it out last year for the first time. So I was not prepared. Then all of a sudden, as we're ready to call it a night last night, my wife goes, oh, yeah, we got to do this.
You remember that?
Or, excuse me, they're here, yeah.
What are the elves going to do tonight? You're wondering. Yeah. Exactly. 11 o'clock, the last thing you want to do is print something out on the printer.
Well, I would imagine that they'll be hanging from the fan just like they were last year, the banister, the broom, all over the place. I don't remember them being all that creative, and I highly doubt they're going to be lifting weights or any of that crazy.
Not in your house?
No, I don't think they're going to be doing that this year.
Well, normally, earlier in the season, they're more creative, but then they get very tired of it. And by December 20th,
they're on the pillow, on the couch, just in the corner.
They're taking a nap. You're lucky they came back today. That's what I say. Damn elves.
Oh, it's the most wonderful time of the year, Johnny Marks.
I like it.
I love it. I do. I love it.
Because then you can post it on Instagram.
Well,
the stories.
And then you get it's a whole different world with kids.
Yes.
Whole different world.
They love it.
As with everything is. And it's a good time with the family and all that. I love the holiday season. I do.
Yeah. What percentage are you involved in the planning, the executing, and everything else?
If you ask me, a lot more, but if you ask my wife, 0. Just another thing I got to do. It's like, all right.
So, and every man out there is shaking his head just like I am and saying, yep.
La 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 la.
Oh, well, no, that's 12 months a year. That's just not a month.
I like this segment.
yeah. I think she's out of. No, she actually maybe in the car. Hey, Liz.
Yeah. You never know.
How you doing? How you doing? We're just kidding.
Yeah.
That's Let's go out to the phones. Let's talk to Chuck. Chuck's on from South Jersey. Chuck, how are you?
I'm fine, guys. I'm doing real good. But I want to talk to you about that. I watched the Commanders play Colorado last night. The
Avalanche?
Broncos?
Oh.
No, the Broncos. And Broncos have been playing pretty good ball. I mean, they won 9 out of the last 10 or whatever it was.
It's the worst 10-2 football team I've ever seen, but go ahead.
They keep winning. You're right.
You're right.
The Commander, Washington, played them tough. I mean, they played good. Mariota looked good. I mean, they tied the game at the end in the last couple seconds. They went into overtime, went 10 minutes, and then the Commanders tied them again. And they had a choice of kicking the field goal, kicking the extra point to tie, and that's done, or to go for two. They went for two, they missed it, but what a game. Hardly any penalties, no fights. It was great. But I'm saying, Commanders looked pretty good.
Yep.
They didn't look bad. It's not like a pushover like everybody thinks.
No, Sean believes they'll win both games. I don't. I don't think they're winning both
I might be
games.
off on that just a little bit. No, they got new life because they got McLaurin back.
McLaurin's back. Daniels will be back.
Yep.
Mariota stinks.
Yeah.
I don't even know how they were in that game last night. Yeah, what did you think of the decision? They went for two to try to win the game.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's under 3 minutes to go. The game is tied. You're giving the ball back to Denver, who probably just milks the clock. You know how easy it is to kick a field goal these days.
Yeah. No, I had no issues with the play at all. And then the 2-point conversion to win it, they had the guy open. If Mariota would have just been able to get a little bit more air underneath it, I think he was open, and that would happen. I'll tell you what, that call right there, it kind of struck me like Coming to America, like when Prince Hakeem was talking about the kicking the oblong ball, made a pigskin through the big H.
What does he call the team again?
The Giants of New York. Colorado.
It was very. I remember the scene. Yeah, the Colorado. So
threw me off a little bit there.
The Broncos are. I agree with you. Certainly, their record is better reflective. Like they're not the team that they are right now. I think they're a good team. But then again, who is a great team in the AFC right now?
That's a good question, John. And let's fire up the odds board real quick. I know you like to use Bet Parks. I haven't looked at this since. I
was trying to earlier when we were talking about the Eagles line, and it's like, okay, what does Vegas think about overall the Eagles?
Well, let's just go to the AFC real quick. Broncos and Bills plus 425, Pats plus 450, Colts 6-1, Ravens 8-1, Chiefs 9-1. We'll stop there. So they got the Broncos and Bills tied at plus 425. Pats, who have the best record, they're 10-2 as well. Could they win 11 games tonight? Am I off on that? Anyways, whatever. Plus 450 for the Patriots. Really?
Are they 10-2 or 9-2?
I thought they were 10-2 as well. Interesting. And then over on the NFC.
All right, so let me try to guess because I haven't looked.
All right.
So is this Super Bowl odds?
This is to come out of the NFC odds.
All right.
You want me to do full Super Bowl?
No. That's perfectly fine. I'm going to say, because you look at the line for the game on next Monday night, and it might be with Herbert out, it may not be, but they were favorites before that anyway. So you can say that Vegas is still showing great conviction in the Eagles winning the NFC East. I don't believe that is matched in going to the Super Bowl. Because I would say the sharp money, and I just have to look at the standings here to see real fast. I would say certainly the Rams, the Bears, and the Packers are favored to go to the Super Bowl ahead of the Eagles.
I am blown away by the number next to the Bears. You said the Rams, the Packers?
Yes.
And then the Bears? No. So
the Lions.
Incorrect. How about this? This is wild, these odds. The Rams are plus 230, favorites to win the NFC.
Okay.
Seahawks plus 390. Then you got a two-way tie for third here between the Eagles and the Packers at 5-1.
Okay.
Niners 11-1. Bears plus 1,400.
Yeah. You know why?
Not
because
buying Caleb Williams.
Their schedule coming up's tough, and if they lose those games, they're not going to have home field. And if they don't have home field, they're not winning.
Wow.
At least the Eagles are likely to get a home playoff game. They will get one if they win the division.
Without being a prisoner of the moment too much, again, that offense is successful because of the run game. That's not going anywhere. Whether that's home or away, they are still going to be able to run the football. I'm talking about the Bears.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think there's value next to the Bears at plus 1,400 to represent the NFC. I really do.
All right, we'll talk more coming up. 610-632-0975. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Unfiltered with Ricky Bo.
1 o'clock hour brought to you by Morgenstern Hair Restorations. Great teams stick together, so does great hair. Morgenstern Hair Restoration, championship results. Visit morgensternhair.com or call them 610-980-4000.
You know, it was such a long weekend, John. I was just looking back at some of the things that I was yapping about. Back to Friday post-game, I laughed at this tweet that came from Stu Gotts. Are you familiar with
Stu Gotts, the graduate of the Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
No.
They used to run the commercials on our air a long, long time ago.
Stu Gotts went to the
CSB.
Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
He's not announcing it to everybody now, but when he was getting paid, when he was just getting his start, well, he was a program director down in Miami, too. Yeah, he went to CSB.
Did not know that.
Don't you remember those commercials where
you ever want to be doused with champagne?
Yes. Hey, how about sports? They had the founder of Connecticut School of Broadcasting do the commercials, but Stu Gotts did one of the commercials. Yep.
I actually know a couple people that went through, and they do some good work.
We have a lot of people here, I think, that went to CSB.
Yeah, Connor Thomas, Mike Vito.
That's great to hear.
Austin Jones.
Nice
I think Matt Menark as well.
All proud graduates.
Yes.
Now you can just start a podcast from the kitchen table. No, I kid. I don't know.
No, you can.
Can you?
For sure.
All right.
But what does Stu Gotts say?
Anyways, back to Stu Gotts. He said, for a coach that has gone to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years, I'm still not sure if Nick Sirianni is a good coach.
Yeah, we're not either, Stu.
I'm still trying to figure it out, Stu.
Isn't it and I'll say this, all the hate and everything we receive in that game, that is a perfect game. The Eagles getting beat at home, not on the road, at home. Every angry Eagle fan that's at that stadium got FaceTime on that broadcast.
Yes.
And anybody that's not an Eagle fan, which is the rest of the world, must have enjoyed every second of it.
Sure.
So I'm fine with that. Enjoy it. Because when the Eagles win, which they do a lot of these days, I'm going to be more annoying than you can ever imagine.
I love it.
Because we are.
Yes.
That's what we're going to do. But yes, the angry Eagle fan is fun.
Was there a moment, and then be honest, because for me it did hit, like, all right, the second half, like, now you got to get behind this team, that I thought the boos were a little over the top. Like, I get it. I'm with you. I'm booing if I'm down there. It's cold. I'm miserable. Show me some fight. But in the second half, I just felt like, all right, now is the time that we can kind of tweak the boo. Am I off on that? A little misguided?
Because what happens is, in the first half, you boo after a 3 and out. In the second half, you boo after a 1st and 10 that goes for 2 yards.
Yes.
A handoff to Barkley, it only goes for 2.
Fire Patullo!
2nd and 8. Incomplete. And then you get the guy putting his thumbs down.
Yes, that guy. He got a lot of screen time. There was a lot of annoyed Eagles fans on Friday, that was for sure. Oh, my goodness. On the Amazon Prime. Yeah.
It was something. But, yeah, the Eagles were – that is true Eagle fan form. And, by the way, in the second half, it just became – I would have left. I would have went home before I would have continued to watch that.
Yeah.
But, like, people that – there were a lot of drunk people, too. I don't know if you noticed. It's, a lot of the booers were under there.
Yeah, there was a lot. You saw father and kid have a moment where his kid's guns blaze and the dad grabs him. Also, let me bring this up. I don't know where this came from, but Jason Kelce with the belly bucking in the pregame parking lot. Yeah, I'm out on that one there.
Our very own Brendan Petrilli was in it. Down in promotions. Yeah, he was in it. He was down. He was one of. I don't know if it was the final or
watch
he was there.
You were caught on the screen.
Was that really?
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, my headphone cord just wrapped around the chair and it was choking me.
I thought that thing was going to come down on you.
Oh my god!
So the belly bucking. I don't know where this came from, but these dudes are shirtless and it's like almost sumo wrestling, and it came off a certain type of way watching it. That's all I'll put. That's all.
Well, it's because you're older now. You're in your 40s. Of course,
was that cool? I don't know.
Here's my problem with it. Jason Kelce's he's not 25 years old. You know, like Jason Kelce, what, 37. He's retired.
He's got like 4 kids.
He's acting like he's a frat brother.
Yeah.
And I like Jason. Yeah. Jason's a really good dude.
Yes.
He's a really, really good dude.
Yes, he is.
So I'm all I'm saying is that I don't have much interest in any of the nonsense he's doing. I have no interest in the podcast. I have no interest in him dancing around, doing whatever he does before the games. If that's something you have interest in, knock yourself out. That's not me.
Yeah.
And the more I see it, the more annoying it becomes.
Yeah, that's where I'm kind of at right now, and I will always love Jason, and of course the speech will always be with us.
Of course, he's a great player.
The belly bucking pregame stuff down at the parking lots was a little much. That's all.
He's an Eagle, and like he's an all-time Eagle. He's gonna have his number retired and all that good stuff. All that I could do with all that, but Sean Rodman, you probably like it.
I mean, belly bucking is. I didn't really know what was going on.
It's okay to like it.
I didn't really care for it. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It just kind of was.
I just ignore it.
That's how I kind of viewed it.
I ignored the podcast. He's pretty good on ESPN. I'll watch if I don't watch a ton of ESPN pregame or whatever, but if I am sitting around and I watch it, I think he's pretty good on ESPN.
He is. He has definitely improved in that department, and I think like they need to know his role. I don't want. I'm really reluctant to say X's and O's because he knows a lot about the game. But, like, Kelsey is a rah-rah guy. Use him for that.
He's a personality guy.
Yeah, like, when you're trying to go to him and he's going to be reading quotes and you're just put him in an uncomfortable situation. No, he's a rah-rah guy. Go use him in that. In that department.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Use him for the offensive line stuff. Use him for blocking. And remember John Madden when he would talk about, look at big old Nate Newton, boom, boom, right? Like that's John Madden describing the plays. Like Kelsey have a little taste of that kind of thing with the O-line. I was watching a lot of Madden Summerall stuff over the holiday weekend because it was Thanksgiving.
Just run back that Randy Moss Cowboy game, please.
Oh, my God.
Went off. Yeah.
When he was in his prime, there's nothing better than Madden.
And those guys were, absolutely. I mean, that's just a throwback. I will say, Troy Aikman is going to go down as.
He's great.
Yeah, he is phenomenal in the booth.
Yeah, he's just flat out great.
It is a great booth, him and Buck. Great booth.
And then they'll argue with the rules guy. Remember the rules guy, when he says something, they're just like, all right, well, thanks, Gene.
Yeah, thanks.
Like Jim Nance isn't arguing with Gene Steratore.
Definitely not.
Tony Romo's like, he's off in the corner talking about some nonsense. Gene Steratore comes in.
Buck and Aikman were ready to throw blows over that.
They argue with the guys, and I agree with them.
We're not seeing it. No, not at all. 2-1 here. Vote against you.
It makes it interesting. That's the best broadcast by far.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Jason Coletti emails me. Jason's a longtime listener. Says the following on the Eagles. Maybe the quarterback needs to stop acting like he's Michael Jordan when he's playing like Jeffrey Jordan. Ooh. The whole demeanor's great when you play well and win. When things are going well and you're just by yourself in your puffy coat, that's not leadership. It puts everyone on edge. This team has been playing on the razor's edge all year. They lived on no turnovers and defense coming up with a big stop. Law of averages says it'll catch up with you at some point, and we are at that point. Spot on with the second part that he said.
See, the issue that I would say, and this is where we have to be cautious because, like, he deserves more respect. Where he isn't playing well, no doubt about that. But this guy.
But does the coach deserve more respect? Because Stu Gott said the tweet of he doesn't know if he's a good coach. I don't either.
Well, this is a turning point in the season, right here, right now, and. Honestly, I think there is a chance. I really do believe this, that if this goes south and it's one and done, that maybe the Eagles brass says he's not the right guy. I really do believe that. You can't be the man in charge and see 2 seasons, just waste 2 seasons. Like historical fashion collapses take place under your watch and everything just remains the same, status quo. It can't happen.
Only the Eagles could be this volatile. I mean, think about it, because you're right. If the bottom was to fall out and they were one and done in the playoffs, he probably gets another year with the, hey, we're bringing in an offense. It's like what happened last time.
Yeah.
He didn't go down with the ship with keeping an offensive coordinator. He said, what do you need from me, guys?
That's it.
We want to hire Kellen Moore. Sold.
And they won the Super Bowl.
And they won the Super Bowl. He knows his role. Doug Peterson didn't. Doug wanted control over personnel. He was like, I'm a Super Bowl winning coach. That should mean something.
From that Foles podcast, it was interesting because he said something along the lines of, hey, Jason Peters wanted to play. And I went over to Doug, and I was like, hey, Doug, Peters is calling for this play. And I know he was, like, very reluctant, too. Like, whoa, I didn't want to step on Doug's toes. That stood out to me a little bit there. I don't know if Sirianni is that way or Patullo, but all in all, you would assume that Jalen Hurts has a big say in this offense. You would believe.
I mean, I guess.
You would believe.
Man, I don't know.
He's had 1,000,001 different play callers. He's had success.
I was thinking about that, too. If somebody gets divorced 10 times, is it always the one side that they got divorced 10 times? Or are you dealing with a nut? How come poor Jalen Hurts? Oh, poor Jalen, he's got a different offensive coordinator. At what point do we start looking at him?
Yeah, but Kellen Moore got a new gig.
Agreed.
So I think there's different.
But that's part of it. He actually is successful to where he gets other guys jobs, but then he gets other guys fired. It's unbelievable.
You're right.
610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. Middays with Marks and Sean Brace, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Eagles' offense struggles again. I'm Sean Rodman, and the Eagles had 4 3-and-outs on Friday, along with 2 turnovers on offense. Nick Sirianni was asked after the game if there would be a change with the offensive play caller, and he said no. The Eagles have a few extra days heading to L.A. next week to figure some things out on offense as they take on the Chargers on Monday night. Justin Herbert suffered a fractured in his non-throwing hand, that's his left hand, and will undergo surgery sometime today. It's uncertain if he will play against the Eagles next week. The Sixers fell in double overtime to the Atlanta Hawks. Maxey's 44 points was not enough in the loss, although he missed 2 crucial free throws late in the first overtime. The Sixers are back in action Tuesday at home against the Wizards. The Flyers go for its 4th win in a row tonight, taking on the Penguins at home. You can listen to the game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Pre-game coverage begins at 6:30. This update is brought to you by Audible. Stuck in traffic? Audible's Romance Collection will have you falling fast in the slow lane. Satisfy every side of you with rom-coms, romnesties, and the really steamy stuff. Listen free with a 30-day free trial at audible.com. I'm Sean Rodman on the home of the 76ers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Marks and Sean Brace, Sean Rodman. Football Mondays brought to you by Pierce Phelps Bryant Heating and AC. They're the local Bryant home comfort team. Visit nopaybryant.com to keep your HVAC in the starting lineup. We have Unfiltered with Ricky Bowe and Bill Colarulo.
Oh, that's going to be a great listen on my way home.
Oh, Bill Colarulo, Nick Sirianni's cousin. What are you going to have to say today?
This offense has topped 21 points since week 5. You got to come off of being his number one supporter.
So the Patullo, he's been a Patullo, I don't even want to say supporter, but defender more in the fact of this isn't, it's very easy to say, Patullo sucks, he can't call plays, the scheme sucks, fire him, everything will be fine, bring in Brian Daboll. I'm not telling you Patullo's good, and I'm not telling you the quarterback's good right now, and that's why I look at Nick Sirianni. Dude, you're not calling plays. You're not going to call plays. It sure seems like you don't want to call plays. You're the CEO. You make a ton of money. You're a Super Bowl champion. If you want to be included in the conversation of the great coaches in the NFL, this is one of these instances where you got to do what you got to do to turn this around. That means you're calling plays on a short-term basis. It means you're calling plays on a short-term basis. This means you have to get this team together. Then you got to get this team together, because right now he may not be able to do anything. Period. Like, he may not be able to do anything, but at this point, this is all on Nick Sirianni and nobody else.
I agree. It has to be. He is the head man in charge, and we know what his background is to a point. And you can't, for Bill, and I'm having fun with this, I'm also taking a shot at him as well, because, when the good times are there, he's standing up for his man. They're attached at the hip. Patullo and Sirianni are attached at the hip, and that's why.
I thought you meant Bill and Sirianni are attached to the hip, because they are.
That too. But clearly, something needs to change, and if he's not willing to grab the bull by the horns and say, all right, I'm going to go ahead and start making some calls here, I'm going to be the man that's calling the plays here on Sunday, then we got an issue, because he needs to be a little bit more of an authoritative figure. Let's just put it that way moving forward. This season right now is on the brink of being an ultimate disaster.
It's on the brink.
Even worse than 2023.
Which was historic.
Even worse than 2023 because of what took place last year. Super Bowl champions.
Had a chance to go back-to-back. All right, so agree or disagree with this statement, that the most likely scenario for the Eagles is they win enough games to get into the playoffs, they lose in the first round, and Patullo gets zipped, and Howie Roseman brings in an offensive coordinator to call plays next year. That is not a Nick Sirianni disciple.
Sign me up. That's exactly how this plays out. If you were to say your vibe right now for this season moving forward, I say one and done, replace the play caller.
Maybe win a playoff game?
Maybe. Who's the opponent?
Yes, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The NFC top to bottom is so strong. Are they beating the Niners right now?
No. You know what?
But you can't even count on the defense now.
No. How about the teams that they already beat? I can't sit here and tell you that if they played the Packers, if they played the Bucks, if they played the Lions again, that they would win those games. I don't believe they would.
So the
Rams, yeah, they're not beating the Rams.
They're 8-4 right now. The Cowboys are 6-5-1. It's still the most likely scenario is the Eagles winning the division, which means they get a home playoff game. Sean Rodman, you give me your answer on this as well. So that means you're going to be playing as the number 3 seed, either Seattle, right? Because Seattle, San Francisco, Carolina's put themselves in a conversation for the division, but that would give them a home game. Detroit, so in the playoffs, the way that they're playing right now, they're not going to be they'd be playing at home against Detroit. They beating the Packers?
I don't see it.
I don't know who they're beating at all right now, the way they're playing.
Yep, exactly. Things need to change.
Sean Rodman?
I don't know who they're beating necessarily, but I could see them winning one game in the playoffs, and that's about it, just because of that defense. I mean, I know Jordan Love looked good on Thursday on Thanksgiving, but that was also in a dome too.
Yeah, but it's not. How did the defense look last week?
Oh, the defense looked putrid last week.
And the week before. Have they been solved?
Yeah, and as good as that defense is, if you score 10, 16, 21, and 15 points, are you really winning those games?
No.
That's the issue.
No, right now, and does anybody expect the Bears to be the number 1 seed? No.
No. Yeah,
so let's say they're 3. Right now, 3 would play the Seahawks at home. Sam Darnold in the playoffs?
Yeah, I'm not buying it.
Well, Sam Darnold in the playoffs.
Correct.
I think they could win that game.
And Jared Goff outside. Like, if you got Jared Goff outside,
You could beat him. The defense could just blitz them the whole time. And no, seriously. That's where the rest of the NFC is right now. If you're at home, it changes things. If you got to go on the road, good luck.
To win the 1 seed right now, Rams plus 145, Seahawks plus 310, Packers 6-1, Bears 7-1, Niners 9-1, Eagles 10-1. That's the 1 seed to win the 1 seed regular season. So yeah, the Rams seem like to be the logical play, and at plus 145, sure.
All right, NFC East. The Eagles are obviously the favorite.
Yes.
What would you say the Cowboys are? Plus what?
Oh, it should be some crazy number.
Plus 650.
Ooh, I would even say more than that.
The Eagles are minus 1,000.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. That seems about right. For the Cowboys, I would expect it to be a little bit more, but yeah.
The minus 1,000 is, I don't know how many people right now are jumping on that to bet the Eagles.
That's telling. They are winning this division. They're going to be the first team since 2004 when the Eagles did it to go back-to-back. I'm not worried about that one bit.
Angry Al texted me earlier and says, are you going to bring up the question of Dallas possibly winning the division?
They're not going to.
I said, yeah, when you call, I'm going to.
They're not going
That's
to.
not like, yeah, if someone brought it up or we brought it up for some reason, yeah, it's a possibility if the Eagles don't win any more games this year.
That would how it would have to play out. They'd have to go 0 for 5, lose every single game, and that means you're cleaning house.
Cowboys, real quick. Cowboys have at the Lions Thursday night, home against the Vikings, home against the Chargers, at the Commanders, at the Giants.
That Vikings offense is horrible. I don't even know.
McCarthy should be back.
I don't even know who the hell they got. Who's that quarterback?
Brosmer?
Brosmer?
Undrafted free agent.
Oh, yeah.
You look like it.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
I mean, they could easily win 4 of those games.
Sure.
That puts them at 10.
Yeah.
10-5-1. You'd have to win 11.
I think yeah, you're right.
Think about putting $10 on plus 650. Man. Just saying.
Ugly end to the season if that is even up for debate.
All right, coming up, we have the final segment of the show, which has been rebranded, Sean. Did we do this last
I believe
Monday?
so, yes, when we got the YouTube comments involved.
It is the YouTube chat recap.
Nice.
Right here at Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Philadelphia.
Middays with Marks, we're back. By the way, earlier when I went to take a leak and had to put a stapler in the door because Martinez took my badge so I can't get back in. Guy's in there brushing his teeth.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, like he's trying to take the enamel off his tooth. Oh. All I'm trying to do is take a leak.
Yeah. It's tight quarters in there.
It's not a fun bathroom.
It's a tight quarter, yeah. I turned the corner, and next thing you know, there was a guy, and the secondary stall is a little low. So I went into the stall. I had to go into the stall. I didn't want to use it.
I don't want to be No, I don't want to be standing next to somebody taking a leak.
It's tight, man. It's tight quarters.
I have a weak bladder when it comes to at least there's the divider.
Yes.
You go into a place where there's no divider, and it's just like junk on junk crime. I don't even try to go to the bathroom unless I'm hammered.
I just want to say that I want to give the guy a tip of the cap for brushing his teeth and being healthy, but at the same time, that is just, that's next level.
It is.
Brushing your teeth at the office.
Maybe it's a health thing. Maybe he's been instructed for halitosis.
Yeah, and halitosis will melt some paint. Yeah.
Some would say get an Altoid or something like that.
I travel with them, baby. I had them. I don't know where I put them.
All right. Yeah, just get a mint, chew some, some gum, some sugar-free gum.
That's it.
Just saying. All right, we will get to the YouTube chat recap. Also, Bill Colarulo was just in here during the break, coming up with Ricky Bo, Unfiltered.
Fighting the fight.
And he comes in, and he's like, oh, you've been talking Patullo the whole show? And I'm like, no, we haven't been talking about Patullo the whole show. We're talking about your boy.
I'm past Patullo. The bullseye is on Nick Sirianni's back. That's it. Enough is enough. And we're not in the minority here. I mean, all my boys are texting me.
Same thing?
Yeah.
So has everybody moved on, despite the sign on the traffic? What is it, like a PennDOT sign or something?
Yes. Yeah. Fire Kevin Patullo. Yeah. No. And you want to be very cautious by saying fire Nick Sirianni. No. But at the same time, this can't happen again. This team cannot have another historical collapse on your watch. Enough of the coordinators. This is about Nick Sirianni.
And I'm just telling you, internally, they think it's about the quarterback. The more and more when Jimmy Kempski puts out that, and I don't think that he got this information like intentionally where someone was leaking it, but Kempski had said that the quarterback doesn't like designed runs in the game plan.
Yeah.
He doesn't like designed runs in the game plan. And that's just more or less like, hey, this is another thing that we're working against. Chris Collinsworth said make running plays for Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Guess what? He didn't want that. So if the quarterback's telling you, I don't want designed runs, what are you going to do?
You're going to leak it to Jimmy Kempski.
Well, you're not going to do designed runs, but you're leaking to Jimmy Kempski. Because you're explaining why this isn't working. Collinsworth said, hey, dummies, why aren't you running Jalen Hurts? Well, here's why we're not running Jalen Hurts. The dude doesn't want to do it. Hey, and how about this regarding that, Sean? Mm-hmm. If Jalen Hurts doesn't want to run the ball, I understand. Because the more that he runs the ball, the more of a chance there is that he gets injured. Even if he's being totally safe, which he's never reckless doing it. He always gets down. Doesn't matter sometimes.
Yeah.
Guys are trying to take you out. And he's been taken out before when he was not being reckless out there. So from that perspective as a quarterback, I can understand that. But if you can't throw the ball well enough to where you don't need that as part of your game, then you got to do it. Aren't we at a point where Jalen Hurts needs to run the ball?
Absolutely now, 100%. Maybe, when you're winning games, finding ways to chalk up, some W's in the right column, then you can push back on that all you want. But where we're at right now, all hands on deck. And if it's something that opens up the game, which it does, then, yeah, Jalen Hurts should be asked to run the football. And if he's not willing to do that, then, yeah, like I said, then you leak it to Jimmy Kempski. But the only thing I would say is he's not the one calling the plays. Right, so when you back off of, Saquon Barkley only getting 13 carries in a day that it's windy down there and it's tough to throw the football, that's not Jalen Hurts, I don't believe. Also, the fact that they were down how many tight ends and that's not part of your game plan to target that area of the field?
They were down linebackers.
Yep. Yeah. Like, what is going on there? That's not Jalen Hurts.
And they put Calcaterra out there for 13 snaps where they don't throw him the ball. He's the worst blocker on the team.
13, too many plays for Grant Calcaterra. Get him off the team.
And Tank Bigsby got one snap. Every time you give this dude the ball, good things happen. So you put him out there for one snap, not even a carry, one snap.
Yeah, it's very.
These are all things that aren't the quarterback, to Sean's point.
It's frustrating.
It certainly is. But with Jalen and running it, you know when Jalen likes to run it? When he changes a play because he sees that it's a quarterback sneak, or they call a quarterback sneak where he can run in and he can do a dance afterwards. But if you're talking about a zone read where he's either keeping it or he's leaving it in the belly of when's the last time you saw a zone read this year?
And that's what people are yelling about.
Never.
Orlovsky was like, why are you in shotgun if you're not going to run the RPO? It makes sense, right? Like, no one's fooled. Defenses aren't fooled by this offense at all.
No, the quarterback wants to be in the shotgun, I believe. Because when they were under center, and that was out of desperation because Toth, I guess, doesn't snap the ball well enough. As soon as Juergens came back in, they have not been under center very much. They weren't under center a lot against the Bears.
That's interesting.
All right, let's get to the YouTube chat recap. Hit it.
It's time for the YouTube chat recap.
How about filling us in?
Let me tell you something else, man.
Watch us live on YouTube every single weekday.
I can't lie.
Let me tell you something.
It's the Middays with Marks YouTube chat recap.
All right, what do we got, Sean Robin?
Hurts is not an all-time great quarterback, but can be very competent in a scheme designed to highlight what he does well. This offense is straight trash. Patullo and his horrible scheme have got to go, or we're on the fast track to a first-round exit. Bill from Harleysville.
And this is why you watch the show live every day on YouTube. Hey, like, at what point do we realize that this isn't Kevin Patullo's scheme? Nick Sirianni made it very clear last year.
Yep.
That this is his offense regardless of who's calling the plays.
In March of 2023.
So it was 2 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah, wait, because I think a lot of that was, oh, well, Nick, you're not calling the plays. In other words, hey, dumbass, you're not calling the plays. Why not? And he's like, whoever's calling the plays, this is me. They're just calling the plays of my offense. If that's really true, then why are we blaming Kevin Patullo? Kevin Patullo didn't come to town riding on a pony, and this is what he wanted to do. I don't think he's a good play caller. I'm done blaming Kevin Patullo. Today's the day. I'm done with it. Nick Sirianni, time's yours, as Andy would say.
I like that.
What's next?
I think you guys are diagnosing the symptoms and not the actual cause. Maybe it's the players, but when the offense is so predictable and you only run the same 4 plays over and over again, what do you expect the players to do? John V. from Pennsylvania.
Don't miss Devontae Smith or Dallas Goedert when they're wide open. I don't know.
That's a good start.
I've seen enough to where, if you can honestly, honestly look yourself in the mirror and do it. Go to a mirror and say, the problem with this team right now is Kevin Patullo and his play calling. I don't know what to tell you. It's a contributor to it. You think that every offensive coordinator that comes into Philadelphia runs this style of offense because they want to? Every year, you know what offensive coordinators want to do? Remember Nick Sirianni? He had to stop doing it. They took his job because he wouldn't stop throwing it. All of a sudden, any offensive coordinators, all they want to do is throw the football. They come to Philadelphia, they lose the taste for wanting to throw the football. Why is that?
Yeah, well, I'm with you as far as the Patullo stuff. This is Nick Sirianni, and it starts and ends there. I am reading that maybe some Eagles fans, young fans, might have did something stupid with Patullo's house. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully that is not the case. Yeah.
Would you be surprised?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Name me the last Public Enemy number. Jonathan, this is Jonathan Gannon stuff.
Oh, man.
It's even worse than Jonathan Gannon.
Yeah, I think so. It is. Welcome to the big leagues.
I honestly feel bad for the dude.
Yeah, his name is flashing on a PennDOT sign this morning right outside the practice facility. They can't stand him. Good grief. I think Nick should fall on the grenade because of this. Just do it already.
Take him out of his misery.
Yeah, man.
All right, what else we have?
You cannot convince me that Hurts and many others aren't underperforming because of frustration with not only just Patullo's play calling, but with management's failure to recognize and address it. John C. from Tennessee.
You don't agree with what I say? What happened in 2023? Right? You think that was about just the team wasn't like they had plenty of talent on that team. What was going on internally? It was over and they knew it. They knew they weren't winning anything. The team was broken. This team feels broken.
Yeah, it does. Tennessee, though, John, what do you think the weather is down there? Are they expecting snow tomorrow down there in Tennessee?
I don't think so, right?
Are we? Are we getting snow tomorrow? You're normally up on this stuff.
My dad did tell me that there was. I didn't look at the forecast.
It's looking like rain now,
as usual.
Yeah,
but I'm up from the north and west where maybe I could see an icy mix. Never know. They'll probably have kids from at home tomorrow.
Yeah. Stay home the rest of the week.
All right. Any more there, Sean?
Yes.
Brace is dressed as Charlie Brown today, and John is a scarecrow. Andy from the YouTube chat.
Not bad, Andy.
It's a varsity shirt. Get it right.
You do kind of look like Charlie Brown. A modern Charlie Brown, not from the 40s.
Hang on.
And I look like a scarecrow?
There you go. Now I'm the Charlie Brown. Take the hat off. Yeah, exactly.
I'm not allowed, anytime I wear flannel, I get made fun of. Am I at the age where I'm too old to realize what's cool and what's not?
No.
Because you're not. You're very fast.
I'm definitely old, man. I do run with the young boys, though, man. I'm out there.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not me. Ow! All right, give me another one.
Amazing Brace is seeing it all wrong. Eagles are 2-2 in the division. The Cowboys are 3-1. It's no guarantee you boys are winning the division. Angry Al.
Yeah, we know there's no guarantee.
Yeah, I disagree with that. That is just a bridge too far for me to get to, that the Eagles will not win this division. Not buying
If they lose and Dallas wins again, then we talk about it.
Dallas loses on Thursday night. Book it.
Think?
I hope.
A lot of people said the same thing about the Chiefs. They thought they were so good, and they were reading their press clippings after beating the Eagles, and the Chiefs need to win. They're going to come kick their ass. Didn't happen. Didn't happen, Sean. I know.
I hope the Lions win on Thursday.
All right, hit me.
Marks, do you really think having 10 different offensive coordinators is like being divorced 10 times and you put that on Jalen Hurts? Yo, your rationale makes no sense. It sounds like you think Jalen Hurts is at fault for that, too. Wow. Rob from Glenside.
Well, Rob, I think you didn't hear what I said, because it's never going to be him 10 times. It's him 5 times. Right? I don't know. Do you not have eyes? Do you not see what this offense has turned into? I just said it. You have 4 different offensive coordinators, and what do? They run the ball. They don't throw the ball. All offensive coordinators want to do is throw the ball, and they run the ball. All right, one more, Sean.
That was it.
That was it.
That was the last one.
All right, well, that is YouTube chat recap. No, I don't think it's Jalen Hurts' fault. I think it's everybody's fault.
Yeah.
Nick Sirianni's fault.
It's not the cop-out answer. It's just the reality of where we're at.
And Jalen Hurts has played better than any Eagles player in a Super Bowl ever, except maybe T.O. He's a Super Bowl MVP, and he earned every bit of that. I don't know. All right, coming up next is Unfiltered. Sean, we will talk to you later. Bill, Ricky Bo, we're coming up next. Sean Rodman, good job.